I'm alive. How are you doing? Just bringing my guest.
Biscuit Rebellion?
JT's Reborn, aka Sean.
Yep. And we're talking about DC Comics. Specifically on the state of DC, what's going on at the since Rebirth. Well, technically it's year 3 of Rebirth, but if you can say we should try to see it's already been even worry me. What I mean by this? Well, what I'll just explain. Just one.
I'll let you take the floor on this one because okay. I'm not well into what's going on in comics.
Okay. Just one.
I'm assuming he's AFK. I could take over for.
Oh, can you hear me now?
Oh yeah.
I can hear you.
Yeah, I shut off my mic for a second by accident. But anyways, I guess I'll start off. Yeah, with DC Comics, like I was more of like an expert like on like the animated and TV show stuff, and then like once they started announcing DC Rebirth, because I was like they had the new 52 thing going on, and I'm like, where do I start? Where do I jump back in? Because I mostly was like into like graphic novels and just like specific storylines.
Yeah.
Then at the start of Rebirth, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna start reading this, and then I discovered like Comic Storian. And then I started like watching all that content and catching up on a lot of old stuff. And I went back and started reading some New 52 stuff, some, pre-New 52 stuff. So I started going back in and like collecting and like reading stuff again. So basically at the start of Rebirth, it was just like, oh, we're going to bring back Wally West, which it was like all this hopeful and optimism, getting rid of like
basically the Superman. Bye-bye.
Yeah, bye-bye. Because fans, like, I mean, obviously you wanted to keep some of the new fans, but you also wanted to please the fans, your go-to audience. Because when you're trying to market to an audience that's not there, you're just kind of slapping in the face of your core, comic book audience. So that's always kind of disappointing. So basically, like, I started like reading stuff and like branching out in other titles, and I was really enjoying it. And then obviously they took off the Rebirth thing, and then basically like until like Dark Knight's Metal, like that's when we really started to see the show. Oh yeah, Dark Knight's Metal was pretty crazy. And then basically like after like Dark Knight's Metal, then they started saying things like Brian Michael Bendis is coming. And now I didn't really know too much about this guy. And then I started looking stuff up because I wasn't really reading current Marvel comics because I hear they're pretty garbage for the most part.
Actually, recently current Marvel got done good finally after probably the bullshit. Then again, we don't know they're gonna be good. Because finally we got another one coming out called Infinity Wars.
Mm-hmm.
Called Infinity Wars 2. What is 3? I lost count.
It's 2. Using the Infinity War name, it's 2.
Yeah, 2.
What's up, Tevye?
Oh, Blackwing. Welcome to the show.
How's it going?
I'm all right.
All right, so where are we at? So yeah, then I heard Brian Michael Bendis, and then they had these obnoxious ads in these comics like
Bendis is coming.
Bendis is coming, and I'm just like I didn't know too much about him, and then I started reading things, and people were like, oh no, not Brian Michael Bendis. He did this, and that to Marvel, and I'm like, wait, so why are we getting him? It's all because of Dan DiDio. So because I started watching this guy like Professor Geek, is that his name?
Yeah, Professor Geek.
Yeah, like, and I was starting to be like informed more about like kind of like the go-to like behind the scenes stuff. And he was talking about how Dan DiDio, like his baby was New 52, bringing in Bendis was his thing, taking my favorite comic book writer currently, Peter J. Tomasi, off Superman, which is a big slap in the face. Yeah, like Tomasi has become my favorite writer. Like everything that man touches is gold. Like, I mean, at least in terms of what I've read, like I really enjoy what he did with Superman, and like Super Sons is like my favorite comic book that It pretty much is. It's the perfect comic book, especially for new readers. It's got like a good dynamic between the two leads, Damian and John. And like, even if I know a lot of people who don't necessarily like Damian because he's kind of an asshole, like even people like who don't necessarily like him, I know a lot of people like came around like, okay, I like him in this because that's like Tomasi. He was progressing him. He was developing him, going from kind of like a ruthless assassin to a better person, like gaining a sense of humanity, which is the way he should go. Because like that's one of the reasons I like him as a character, because he starts out like rather dark, more like villainous, and then over time becomes a better person. But I always hate when a new writer takes over and they completely forget all that development that like say Tomasi does, and then they just regress them and start back over again. It's like, why are you regressing when you should be progressing a character?
Yeah, I don't get it. It's stupid. But come on, man.
technically underestimated Tomasi with his Batman and Robin run because I never liked the New 52 at all.
Same.
So right now I'm currently reading his Batman and Robin run, and it's actually pretty good. So I definitely kind of misjudged Tomasi on some accounts, but he's a really great writer.
Yeah, he's gonna be taking over Detective, which thank God, it's very soon.
Oh yeah, Colin from Telehan 29 said, "Got you." Oh, 29. Wait, name. There we go. Oh yeah, continue.
Where was I at?
Explaining about Tomasi and
You
what
were
he
talking about Batman and Robin as well.
Yeah. So like you were talking about Batman and Robin. So Tomasi, phenomenal writer, and then Brian Michael Bendis comes in, and then obviously the stuff with Superman and Superman Rebirth has been phenomenal. Like I've loved reading Superman with this stuff. Like the family dynamic, him like being a dad is probably the best thing they've done with Superman in the past, I don't know however many years. Giving him a son and then having him teach his values. I would rather I don't need him punching or fighting any bad guys. And like when Tomasi and Gleason were writing it, like I don't need to see like any fight scenes or anything. I just liked seeing stories where they're just kind of being a family, and that goes to show you the strength of like a good writer and like good storytelling and like just the way it's presented. It was like the colors and the way it was drawn. It was very welcoming and upbeat, uplifting, very positive and optimistic. A joy,
It was, and still is to this day. Like, this book is one of the best comedy in DC series, and it looks at the Fantasy Time. It is Super Son is my favorite, and also the Raven too. And I agree with your point.
Yep. So yeah. And then Dan DiDio brings in Brian Michael Bendis, and
they're very, very, very kind of at the letter. Okay, Bendis when he first started on the comics, it was amazing. But after the Omen Spider-Man, his quality went down. Wait, basically, you're an expert on it more than Bendis. What did Bendis wrote?
He wrote.
He wrote Ultimate Spider-Man, New Avengers, Secret Invasion. The list goes on and on.
Riri Williams or her era.
Recently. In Civil War 2 crap.
And Civil War 2. Basically, anything that happened post Ultimatum, he's just been downhill.
Okay, Ultimatum was not Bendis. That was just
No, I'm not saying that was him. I'm saying post that event. Anything he wrote from that point onward, it's just been going downhill.
Oh, gotcha.
And it doesn't help that he loves to retcon stuff, which is what I was so afraid of when he was going to come into Superman. And now I'm hearing all of this. It's like, oh yeah,
he's already taken action on the Superman stuff already. Like I saw the solicitation for issue 1004 for Action Comics. I don't like what I'm hearing.
Yep. Basically, the odds effect has now been recognized as become Joel, which you don't get. Last time I remember, Joel was trying to make Dr. Manhattan. How did he escape? Answer: there's no answer. Oh, here's the stupid part of pissing on the Manson miniseries.
Didn't they say the reason why Jor-El came back was because Dr. Manhattan kind of saved him?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Saved them, was on Earth for a really long time, and can't really remember what happened. But like after that, I know what happens in the Oz effect, but he didn't really do much during that time.
I don't know why. That was a big surprise though, but I don't know why they had to bring back. Well, they didn't need to bring back Jor-El anyway, because I mean, what's the point of bringing him back anyway?
I don't know, just to like find an excuse to get John out of there. Which why the hell would John go with him when like he was just like kidnapping him and being an asshole to him like ever since he met? Like, yeah, like did I miss something? Was it like he was under mind control the whole time? I don't know. Like Superman, like why would Superman not go off with his family? It's just some cheap excuse to get Superman away from his son. And I swear to God, if they break up that marriage, I'm gonna be pissed.
No, you're not gonna be pissed. Everybody is gonna be pissed because you need to know Superman and Lois Lane are the epitome of superhero relationships in comics. So if they break up, the whole fandom, I'm pretty sure every fan across the world are going to be sending in hate letters to DC, and they need to have their guard up. So if they do that, DC needs to prepare for something that they might regret.
Will
I
it be
would
worse
argue
than
that-
Batman?
According to Bendis, in an interview I've read, he is not going to bring up the marriage of Superman and Lois. He's not going to do that at all, despite what people think he's going to do, and he's not going to kill off John.
I've come across so many interviews where he states that he's not going to do one thing and then he does it anyway. So to be honest, I'm not going to take his word on that until I see it.
Yeah, I'd rather see it than hear
Break
his
up the
words.
marriage, or he's not killing off John. I mean, he's not killing them off.
If he
No,
ain't
don't
gonna
even break up.
marriage,
No,
he's
no, no,
gonna
no!
kill
Don't
him.
even break up the marriage, please. Don't.
No. Do you guys think it'll be
This
a
is
worse?
one marriage people do not want to see split up at all.
Do you think it'll be a worse if they break up the marriage? Do you think it'll be a bigger backlash than Batman 50? I don't know if it'll be.
Yes.
Yes,
It
will.
will probably be a bigger backlash. But did you guys hear what Tom King got after what happened in Batman 50?
Death threats.
Yeah, and he got a bodyguard too.
That's hilarious, but damn.
He was
mean,
promoting. Yeah, he was promoting his bodyguard at Comic-Con.
Yeah. Last time I checked, we kind of went through this 2 years ago when Nick Spencer had Cap say Hell Hydra.
That was different. That was a change in somebody's like personality, morals, philosophy, and everything. This is just marriage, and I would argue that people take this a lot more seriously than a change of character, only because we know he's going to change back anyway. So at least that's the impression that I got.
I think one of the strangest things Bendis has done since he's been on the book, it was, I think for a lot of people, this was an odd thing for him to do, especially since DC got rid of this thing. Oh, let's see. Well, as of a couple years ago, basically it was gone for 5 years. The Red Trunks.
Yeah, at least that's something nice that he did. But
Yeah, that was one thing. I think a lot of people were shocked to see it, and yet apparently Batman is getting his trunks back too.
and his original logo.
Yeah, I don't know why. I personally don't have a problem with the costume. Greg Capullo design, the one who designed his costume. People think that, oh yeah, his costume got the rebirth. No, he got the happen. But I've read about behind this costume. The costume inspired by several different costumes over the years, like Dark Knight Returns and a bunch of others. Basically, that's what Greg Capullo said in the trade paperback, the collected issue 50 Bat volume, not the current one. That is basically how he explained the whole thing of that particular thing.
Is Tom King supposed to be giving up the Batman book?
No, well, after Tommaso took over the Detective Comics book. Oh, speaking of Superman,
As far as I've heard, Tom King is not leaving Batman, but I did hear that one particular will be leaving soon, and that's Dan Abnett will be leaving Aquaman, replaced with Kelly Sue Honig.
Yeah, I heard about that. That I heard.
Yeah, I heard about that. That's weird.
Because this is the first DC book she's done since Supergirl back in 2011.
Wasn't
Okay.
Supergirl not that good?
I wouldn't say that good, but
that was the run started by Loeb. It was up and down, but if you read the Sterling Gates run, it is really good during his run. It's just that the run that came after his was a bit mixed. Once Killer Suhana came out for the last few issues, it felt like it was getting better, but then that relaunch happened in 2011.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, the new 52, which got him. Oh, speaking of Man of Steel, I completely forgot to make my point. The problem with Bendis is the big one for me is that Bendis doesn't care about continuity. He takes continuity and throws out the window. Like, for example, the Oz Effect. He took this great story and threw it out the way to bring Joel. Why? That's
For Rogozar.
Right, and Rogozar, him too.
I don't care about him anyway. He's not.
Same.
He's not an interesting character to me.
So boring. I'm giving him go away, Rogozar. No one likes you. Oh wait, but he's coming back as Superman. Why?
Yeah, and I'm still curious though about that place where it was Jarrell's fortress. Where the heck was that? Who else was in that prison? I mean, I know that Connor might be in that prison, but who knows who else in that prison besides freaking Doomsday?
Oh yeah, that's a question that didn't answer either, Daniel Oz Effect.
Wait, I thought they did answer that one.
They sort of did. They kind of did during the aspect. Superman did go to prison, and they saw Mixie Pricks in prison.
Yeah,
But
but
I'm talking about everyone else. Like they've already answered the questions of who he kidnapped.
That's true. You know, Evil Tim Drake were trapped there.
Yeah.
Oh,
and-
speaking of Tim Drake, yo, what is DC doing with my boy Tim?
Where is he?
They keep putting my
Well,
boy Tim
Tim
on the
is-
sidelines.
Yeah,
Yeah,
didn't
I know.
that.
I think he did. He actually did not. Apparently, Brian Hill, who's the current writer of Detective Comics, to drop him from the book and have the cast be the book besides Batman. The character spoiler, Cassie Kane, and they Thomas and Batgirl.
Is he basically trying to turn the book into Batman and the Outsiders? Because that's what it's trying to turn into.
With Black Lightning. I did hear about that.
No idea, but I know the Outsiders exist. Thank you, Scott Snyder, for bringing them back.
He's only doing a 5-issue arc. Hill is, so it's really just this one 5 issues before Tomasi takes over.
Here's the thing.
Really?
I saw
Interesting.
October solicits. I was shocked to see us. Tim, I want to hear your reaction to this. That James Robinson is taking over the Detective Comics in October.
Ooh, that's interesting. Eugene Roberts is a good writer because he had to go at the extra 1-1 series. Yeah, 1-1 series with Jason was epic. Especially with the Dark Gods.
At least he's written the comic before.
Yeah,
he's back in. He wrote last time he wrote was back in 2006.
Let me see. Actually, his last run I read was Justice League of America back in right before when the New 52 started. Before,
I'm
before,
talking
like
about when he wrote the Bat books. I mean, last time was the storyline Face to Face.
that was a good story. I love that story.
Yeah, it's probably by far one of Robinson's best stories he put out from DC. Throughout his first era, he did for DC, along with books like Starman, The Golden Age, his arc he did for JSA. Though most people agree the one was Cry for Justice.
That one too. That's a great one.
Yeah, it had good artwork. I like the artwork for it, but most people agree the series made terrible decisions, like killing off Leanne Harper for like no reason. At least Prometheus had a good reason to die, but Leanne had no reason to die at all.
I guess it was to add personal turmoil to Roy to make him go crazy.
Yeah, I have spoken to Chuck Dixon. You remember you guys reading me about the whole thing when Oliver Queen died back in Green Arrow number 101?
No, I never read that book. Huh.
No, but I heard that Ollie did die in like a boat crash or something.
He did?
Well, in the book, he died via dying on a plane that exploded. Which, if you read the issues, the 2 issues officially died. Superman was actually on that plane, tried to help him, but the plane blew up with him on it, and basically had it where the start of the book was his son, Connor Hawke. Now, I've spoken to Chuck Dixon of he had him die in that issue. It was for a mandate that had him die.
Of course, editorial. One man support. Editorial ruins everything. Oh, speaking of Curtis, Captain Marvel Red Band finally getting a book 1-8. Finally! My favorite character came back. Which one of my favorite characters? Where have you been, Captain Marvel? Captain Marvel.
Yeah,
I don't have a problem with him writing it, but I think most people agree. I think he's probably the only person who gives a damn about Captain Marvel because his last appearance was 2 years ago.
Yeah, Constantine.
Yeah, he just disappeared. No one gave a shit about him for a while.
Or the Marvel family.
Here's the thing. I think it was last week, DC ended the Hellblazer after only 24 issues.
Really? I know about that.
That pisses me off.
Yeah, they ended it.
Wow.
I don't.
When the heck did that happen?
But I do have a theory of what caused probably a dip in the sales. The frequent change of writers.
Wait.
I'll give him that.
How many writers did that book had? I haven't read Hellblazer.
It had, over the course of 24 issues, it had at least 3.
Ouch.
First, he had
4.
Simon Oliver for the first 12 issues, and he had Tim Seeley did a few issues. He left, and then we have another writer came and do a few issues. Then he left, and then Tim Seeley came back to do the remaining remaining 6 issues of the series.
What? 6 issues? That's it? Damn. Sucks. Then he came out just to get dark.
Yeah, and the issue ended up with this.
And it was what?
I just assumed that they didn't have any direction
he
for
made
him.
out with the Huntress.
Wait, what?
Yeah, he made out with the Huntress.
Yeah.
When the hell did that happen? I knew he was my Hellblazer.
Yeah,
Wait.
Huntress was appearing as a supporting character in this arc. Of course, that Tim Seeley had to do something with her because they had just canceled a few months ago Batgirl and Birds of Prey for no reason.
I stopped reading
I'm
that book
actually
early.
happy for that. So.
I don't never read Birds of Prey. I tried you know, the real issue made me
Stop
happy
it.
because they
I
brought
have.
Oracle.
This book was fantastic lineup, great storytelling by the Ben. I think it was the Bensons, the 2 writers who wrote, who were one of 2 of several writers for the series, The 100. I thought the series was fantastic.
Nah,
I-
sorry.
Expand
I
the
didn't really
team
like the
beyond
series
the
that
initial
much.
3 members, but that didn't last very long. There was even an issue where apparently
I was expecting a bigger team roster to get bigger instead of just having a focus on like Dinah, Huntress, and Barb. So I feel like maybe the series could have got more
More
members.
members.
they
but
did
I
briefly
stopped.
expand the roster. Briefly, they added Poison Ivy, and they added Catwoman.
They
They
did.
even
Okay.
briefly added Wonder Woman with the team.
Catwoman, I can understand.
Yeah,
Poison Ivy.
No, that makes sense. Poison Ivy.
she has been on the team before.
Yes.
Yeah, before. During the previous Birds of Prey series.
which
The
I
one
have
when
not read.
Dwayne Straczynski was in the book.
Oh my gosh.
When the previous Bird of Prey during the New 52, I forget.
I never
Yes.
read it, and
It
I
was
never
started
read
by
it because-
Dwayne Schwartz, the same guy who wrote the series from 2008 2010. He wrote that. The one where the character Hope was a supporting character, and the main villain of the whole series was Bishop.
Bishop from X-Men.
Yeah. They made the crossover event Messiah Complex turned to a villain for a couple years. For some reason.
Oh, yeah. No, I remember. I made that card. That card was prevent get killed off again.
Yeah.
Oh,
But he came back and took him like 2 years to fully recover from being shot in the head by Bishop. Even though he was trying to kill Cable because he thought Hope was going to be not really sure what the writers of that crossover were thinking when they did that crossover. And that crossover happened 11 years ago.
And Perfecta is still dead. Oh, wait, but he came back between and started the X-Men. And yeah, that's a more topic.
He
I
kind of is
I
back.
didn't know he
but-
ran out.
Yeah, it's weird when it comes to the X-Men. It's like half the time people are dead or they're
Or time
alive. I
travel.
mean, recently, last year we had frickin' Gray after she's been dead for 13 years.
Mojo Man, he died.
Right
in
back.
X. All right.
So the current state of comics.
Okay, so the current state of DC Comics, they're a bit half and half right now. One thing that we can know about, both Green Lantern titles are ending, and a new title is going to be starting up, which is going to be written by Grant Morrison, just titled The Green Lantern, which I find
Okay.
I find it
That's interesting.
I find it interesting because I read Grant Morrison's work. His Batman work is awesome.
The Superman work is awful. Acting of it was garbage. I'm sorry. I
Which one, from New 52 or
New 52?
Or are you talking about All Star Superman?
No, All Star good. New 52 I'm talking about.
Oh, okay. But yeah, let's see how well Grant can handle a space title, because we haven't really seen him handle something like this. I mean, he's handled X-Men, he's handled Batman, he's handled Superman. So let's see what else Grant can actually do.
Fun fact, I think Grant Morrison actually wrote like a tiny acting for this miniseries for Dark and Metal, and it was weird.
well, all of his writing is weird. So
Well, yeah, that's true.
His writing is so creepy.
But it dealt with whole multiverse stuff, which makes sense because Dark and Metal was a multiverse event. But getting there. Unlike Marvel bullshit event, DC metal with metal, it was epic and bad, but all the villains were interesting. But the Batman was interesting.
I gotta say, Metal was very interesting to me though, because it didn't. All right, there were moments where stuff wowed me, but like moments where you're reading the main story, you have no idea what's going on. It's so much to take in that you don't know what to think about. That's what Metal was for me, because there was so much to take in. I'm like, the ramifications that happen in Metal are now happening right now in Justice League, which is written by Scott Snyder, and they add so much stuff on a cosmic scale. I feel like, okay, this is giving me a headache. I don't know what to do anymore. Like, literally, that's what most of the stuff is turning into. Like, when DC does something like very like cosmic or on a multiverse level, I start getting headaches.
Totally agree. I'm lost in like half the stuff that's going on. I'm like, what? That's the thing with Metal, and then like what he was doing with Justice League right now. I'm just like, what are you talking about? Like, simplify it, please.
Can we just go back to the days of just simple stories of just the heroes fighting the villains? Because I mean, mind you, Scott Snyder has a good thing in mind, bringing back the Legion of Doom. That
I approve.
That was a really dope move. So I
see have not been active in years.
I see where Scott is going with this. I know Scott is a real big fan of like the old school Justice League cartoon, which I could see in the comics. I'll definitely give Scott props for that. But the other stuff that's happening, like on the with the totality and all that other stuff.
Flash War.
Flash War was.
I love it.
Okay,
Flash War was amazing.
Flash War was great.
It was epic. Wait, JJ Bone, what's your opinion of Flash War?
I didn't read it yet, so.
Oh damn!
There's too many books to keep up with. I was trying to read all the Batman titles, and then like the Superman titles, and trying to branch out from there. So like I caught up with the Batman stuff. I got to read Beyond, and then I got to catch up with Flash.
Yeah. For Batman, right now there's like nothing really major going in the Bat books aside from.
Not yet.
Yeah, it seems like it's very small scale right now. I mean, the last major thing involving the Bat books was Monster Man a couple years ago. Well, we can't forget Dark Knight, but that was a company-wide thing. But
then the wedding bullshit.
Really did? Yeah, the Monster Man a couple years ago.
What gets to the big elephant? What's to the wedding, or I call the big FU like X-Men Gold was?
I wasn't hype about that wedding at all. I'm like, I'm gonna be like,
but here's the thing about that wedding. Marvel didn't hype up the wedding as much as DC was hyping up the wedding of Batman and Catwoman.
That's true. Yeah, like they even had tie-in issues leading up.
The way how Marvel does things with their weddings, they don't hype up. Well, okay, they don't hype up their weddings. I mean, they kind of did with the whole.
Prior to the most recent wedding we had, the last official wedding Marvel did was actually 2 X-Men related marriages. Northstar and his husband, and Deadpool. Excuse me, and that smoking hot demon Shaquilla.
Oh yeah, didn't Deadpool?
They're still married.
Wait, Xavier, you said Northstar divorced with his husband?
He's still legally married. Forgot to erase it from his mind.
Interesting.
Wait, what?
Probably Duncan did a thing.
Oh yeah, with Deadpool. My bad.
But technically, yeah, Deadpool. But the current run by Scotty Young, it's a bit weird, but it's interesting. I like what Scotty Young's doing right now. It's something though, because the last book he did artwork, and that was the first ongoing Rocky Raccoon, the one that lasted for 11 issues. He wrote and drew that entire comic book himself.
I didn't care. Look, I could have gone to Galaxy, but I did not care. I don't Solar series. That book was just pointless.
I had to make a list of what Marvel comics I need to read because I'm reading too much from Marvel.
The Marvel book I'm reading right now is the Spider-Man.
I read, like how many books I read? It's a lot. I read like almost everything but of the only thing for these I don't read is the Looney Tunes comics. I don't read those. I read some of the Hanna-Barbera comics, mostly just the revamped Scooby Apocalypse. The only thing I did. I know that they already ended the Snuggle.
Wait, which one?
The Scooby-Doo Apocalypse.
Yeah. Whenever DC has crossovers with Hanna-Barbera, it is hilarious. It's hilarious and really I haven't come across a bad one shot they've done.
I only read the Super Sons one.
The Super Sons one was awesome. I love that one. That one was funny. It was adorable.
Pretty much anything with the Super Sons is
Like,
great.
somehow
Yeah.
they knew these people already, which I'm kind of not surprised that he probably knew them from some point in the past.
With the Active Eleven Batman Incorporated, we're all very cool. Active Eleven, but it is Super Sons Batman Incorporated, and I love that. I want it to be canon. Please make that canon.
I think
That's so
Tomasi
good.
said on Twitter, he's just like, it's canon if you want it to be.
I approve.
Yeah.
mean,
Probably the most bizarre one they did recently was Flash and Speed Buggy.
Oh yeah, that's like Scott Liddell and
and it had the audacity to be good.
Yeah, it was actually good.
Have you guys read the
Oh,
crossovers?
guys. Speaking of Scott Liddell, I'm going to Comic-Con this weekend, and he's going to be at the Comic-Con I'm going to.
Oh, you're lucky. Damn. I have so many questions for
Tampa
him.
Comic-Con. This is my 5th year going, and I looked on the site just like he was going. I'm like, wow, Scott Liddell's going. Going to be there. Along with one of the co-creators of Deadpool,
Oh, Rob Liefeld?
David Caesar.
Lucky. I still want to go to Comic Con. Wait, is it New York or is it MegaCon?
Tampa. It's in Tampa.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, gotcha.
Yeah.
Have any of you
In
guys
the
read
case of-
the DC meets the Looney Tune comics? I haven't read them yet, but they
I
look
have.
very.
They are hilarious.
They are.
I do
best
own
one.
one of them.
Best one, to be honest,
the
is
one I own
Batman
is-
and Elmer Fudd.
I knew you
Yeah,
were.
that was pretty hilarious.
That was
The
pretty
one
good.
I own, and I really love this one. I even got the artist, and I got the writers on it too. Jonah Hex and Yosemite Sam.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah,
That
I heard
sounds
that one.
brilliant.
That was funny.
Yeah, as soon as this comic was being announced, I'm like, I'm going to get this comic no matter what. So I got it last year when I was at Midtown Comics, and then I go to Midtown Tampa. Coincidence, both artists were at Comic Con, and I had them both sign it.
Nice.
Yeah, it was first time I met Mark Textra. And believe it or not, you know that, I don't know if you guys noticed this, about 90% of the characters appearing in Black Panther, he created, along with Christopher Priest.
Nice.
Nice.
Yeah, but
Anywho, speaking of DC, what's good after another thing that happened recently?
We could talk about Heroes in Crisis on
Yeah,
how.
Helen and Craig. Did you want? You talk about it since you were at Tywist.
well, I
Did you
heard
see
about
that
this,
creepy thing at like Comic-Con where he's like Tom King has like all these people dressed up in like something straight out of like Eyes Wide Shut?
Oh yeah, I did see that.
The way this reminds me of is something of real life politics of, and this is something that the president tried, is the whole thing of sanctuary cities.
Oh,
You know, where people will get
fuck.
immigration.
Don't mind
Tom
me.
King's loosely inspired the sanctuary city for Heroes in Crisis on this.
I
That's
thought
my
Helen
theory of what
Craig-
he's basing it on.
I thought Helen
But-
could deal with post-traumatic stress disorder, and now I gotta deal with politics and that nonsense like Marvel did.
I hate
think it's
preachiness.
loosely based on. I think it's loosely based on the idea of sanctuary city, but the real life one is completely different.
The real life one, I don't want to part of that. I don't want to talk about politics. I'm done part after.
Yeah, I read that either because it's something not good to talk about with friends. Politics, unless
Yeah.
you're in a political club.
Yeah.
But
comic
on
book.
to something else. The final writer for Green Lantern, which is Dan Jurgens, along with
Yep.
the arc by Mike Perkins.
Yep, he's gonna bring out the Cyber Superman. So I'm just looking for the soldier, meaning Cyber Superman escaped. Wait.
Cyber Superman was trapped in the Phantom Zone, not in the Fortress.
Actually, that's not entirely true because in the Action Comics special, and you can go my memory here, Superman was gonna try to help Cyber Superman from being danger himself and trying to heal him because
One thing that apparently even Rob Williams in our bio, when General Zod first showed up post Flashpoint in the pages of Superman and Wonder Woman, he got out of the Phantom Zone with his wife, Fiora. And
yep.
then they got away. and then until Zod showed on the page of Suicide Squad, somehow, and it's never explained, of how he got back into the Phantom Zone, and his son,
Yep.
who in pre-Flashpoint was Chris Kent.
I don't know
And
how Chris Kent turned evil.
The comic itself explained of when in the world that Superman him and put him back in the Phantom Zone. Yeah. Never bothered to explain how he got back in the Phantom Zone. How or when this even happened. He just
Honestly,
have complete at random.
here's my best guess about that. My best in Superman Reborn, that New 52 time man was resistant. I mean, all the Superman when we were different General Jones gone. Bye, cut that. But I'm fine about it. New 52 was just garbage. I'm sorry that it was not resistance.
I actually did talk to Dan Jurgens when I met him about Doomsday, of how the way Tony S. Dillon drew him was completely different than how Dan Jurgens drew him.
Yep.
For one thing, Doomsday, drawn by Tony S. Dillon, was butt naked.
Yeah, and for
Dan
that,
Jurgens actually wore shorts.
Yep. And but New 52 there, Doomsday Virus gets in the series.
Yeah, but that was not Tony S. Dillon.
mess.
Tony S. Dillon had nothing to do with that.
I know.
That was mostly Lobdell doing that.
No, I think that was
Lobdell and
Greg Pak.
Greg Pak doing that.
God, that was so stupid.
Yeah.
I have a whole idea.
I mean, the guy is a really good writer, Greg Pak. I mean, heck, the guy, he can't back doing the Hulk, and he did a really good show. Currently, I don't know what the guy's doing now. I mean, he just left Incredible Hulk, and now the book is written by Al Ewing.
I mean, that show Hulk is so boring to I don't give it. I'm glad he's gone. Not good back. Good
He's the writer of Immortal Hulk.
Yeah, I know. That's good, but hit it. With Totally Awesome Hulk was born, it went nowhere, it tried to be put out, it failed, and it just...
Yeah, but here's the thing about... Tivy, have you been reading Champions?
I have been shipped a long time ago. I'm done with Champions at the Mark Waid one.
The recent issues of Champions.
I've seen it. Here's
the thing what happened recently. Because already chose technically no longer the Hulk. Basically, he's still got Hulk power. He's been slimmed down, and he's no longer called the Hulk. He's called Braun himself as the code name now. Braun.
That's a stupid name.
That's one of the stupid names.
After the final issue, still in the hospital.
What? That doesn't make any sense.
Jim Zeb, he's the one who came up with it.
Well,
Well, Jim Zeb was the one who gave him the name. Blame him for it.
I know. I don't blame it.
And he's not technically the one who Sam Alexander loses Nova Helmet. That was I don't remember. I the Champions miniseries tie-in for Infinity Countdown.
I read parts of it, but as soon as I found out I went back. We had to kill him. Didn't happen, so I need to ban ship. I'm gonna try to avoid more.
Yeah, the guy took away his helmet. Yeah. But I'm sure you know other books that DC have changed writers for no explained reason. I know that Batgirl has changed writers. Like almost every book at DC changed writers recently, except for Batman, Titans, The Flash.
Mm-hmm.
I think that. Oh, and Batwoman. Batwoman was not changed writers.
Forgot about Red Hood.
Everything else, every other book at DC has changed writers recently. Oh, and I thought Deathstroke was going to Ambush 35, but according to October solicits, Deathstroke is still continuing. Yeah, Red Hood and the Outlaws. Forgot about that. But almost every other book at DC has had the change of writers recently for ever explained.
Well, anyway, we should fight about. Well, sorry to interrupt, but we should fight about Tom.
I know. Did you know Sam Humphries on Harley Quinn now?
No, I don't read Harley Quinn.
I do. He replaced Frank, and he told me prior to the solicits coming out that there's going to be a mini series for that arc that there was an arc Harley Quinn called "Oh Lady Harley."
I heard about it.
Frank Terrier's expanded into a mini series.
Huh? Why? What's the point?
Yeah, he told me that personally before I met him. The only that Frank Cherry did it.
The parody at the Old Man Hawkeye?
Yeah, it's a similar idea, but I think that he drew inspiration from the fact because the fact Logan film was so popular last year. I guess he was like, okay, why not do a futuristic version of Old Lady Harley for like no reason? And it was a pretty fun little story arc, and felt like Harley Quinn was the Mad Max era.
I got nothing.
Even the covers of the arc was inspired by the Mad Max films.
Too much noise on my side. I had to stay mate.
And of course, we have Nightwing, where it's run by Ben Percy. He's fighting holographic monsters for no reason.
It's like it reminded me a bit of like They Live.
It's weird.
Yeah, it did. Gotcha.
Yeah, and of course we have Green Arrow. We have Green Arrow going breaking to a prison where he runs to the Parasite and a bunch of other villains for some reason.
It was just a filler arc.
And the book is being written by a woman now.
I like that story. That's pretty good.
It's a filler arc. Nothing.
I actually did like Percy's run on Green Arrow. I thought it was pretty good.
Percy's run on Green Arrow was fantastic.
Percy on Green Arrow was awesome.
Yeah, his run on Teen Titans was mixed because there was never any real consistency. It felt like as soon as he started going, there'd have a crossover or somebody would break up the flow of his arc. And I also hated like how he'd regress certain characters and go in certain directions with other characters, but like it was a mixed bag for me. So
as for that lineup he had, almost all of them except for one is doing something. I mean, you have Raven and Beast Boy move with the Titans. You have Kid Flash stay on the team, but where is Aqualad?
He just disappeared. You know what?
Omen? Where's Omen?
Yeah, Omen disappeared. What was going on with the separation of the teams? Like, did we ever get a really good explanation? We never got an issue where they all just went their separate ways.
That's what I wondered myself.
The separation of the teams, I think it had to do with the one shots that released like right after Metal ended. I know Titans had a one shot, and then Team had a one shot. But yeah, they never really explained where did Aqualad go. They never explained where did Tempest or Lilith. They didn't explain where any of them went. They just said,
he's gonna die. In
if you want to think of two characters that Dan Abnett did nothing with, even though he set them up in the Titans Hunt miniseries, Hawk and Dove.
I don't know. I don't care about Hawk and Dove. To tell you the truth, look, Hawk and Dove could get it, but I personally don't care about them.
Oh, did you know this article that came out today that Liefeld loves that Hawk and Dove have on the Titan TV show?
Nah. The Titan TV just pissed me off.
Yeah, he loves it.
Fuck that.
He has no problem with the way the costume is designed for Dove. He loves the costume because, he designed the original costume for Dove. Yeah.
Sorry.
But there was also Cave Boy. Remember him? The guy, big bulky guy.
Where the hell did he go?
Who Roy Harper was right away. He popped up like once, like Dan Abnett during this run for Titans. The guy did nothing at all. Hawk and Dove was supposed to be on the team, and then for some reason they're dropped, and then they had Bumblebee to the team. I'm not sure where the heck she went.
I approve.
Mal Duncan.
I approve, by the way, because I do love Bumblebee, and I'm sure I'll be shooting on that team next to.
At least in the case when it comes to. When it came to Dan Abnett's run for Titans, it's just flow with the book.
It did. And Titans was one of my favorite books.
He developed it. Over the course of when they had the original team on for the first, I think it was 20 issues.
20 issues and no justice happened.
And heck, they even did something that they apparently did something first, and then Ben Percy must have stole this idea. Yeah, but their base operations, Titans Tower.
Titans Tower, which is awesome.
I was expecting Teen Titans. I was very happy to see it. I was not expecting to see it in Titans.
I was happy Titans. Oh, speaking of Titans Tower, that remind me.
Where in the case of the one from Titans, where it's heavily res design.
Yep.
And the one from Teen.
Nick. Crap. We lost him. Wait, did you, the one? Any thoughts?
I have no idea. Apparently, they're based out of a warehouse now for some reason. It's weird.
Yeah, with Teen Titans, like I liked a lot of stuff.
I'm here.
Like the special, like gave me kind of mixed feelings.
Yeah, Titans for some reason, the Teen Titans style, but freaking.
Oh,
I'm not sure.
Okay.
I'm not sure about this current Teen Titans lineup. I mean, having Miko, Red Arrow join the team, perfect choice. But these newcomers are just like
Robert Donner?
no, just like all three of them. I'm like, who are these people? Where did they came from? And why are they here?
how can you be a 4,000-year-old teenager?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. What do you guys think of the new writer for Teen Titans?
I
Adam
wish
Glass.
it was still Ben Percy because I actually like that lineup better.
Same.
Yeah. Oh, here's the thing. Do you know what Adam Glass's last comic he wrote was?
Oh, Viva Bucky.
New 52 Suicide Squad, I heard, or something.
Yeah. Yeah, that was his last book. Guess what he's done for the past few years?
What?
Supernatural or something.
I forget.
He's written episodes for TV. That's what he's done for the past few years.
So we have a TV line that comes back and like comics again and like Teen Titans, but make them a Suicide Squad.
Technically, he's not the only one, Tivia. Jeff Johns is written for TV.
That's true.
So has Tom Taylor.
That's also true.
I mean, Tom Taylor's he could do the best of both worlds. So
Tom Taylor's amazing. He's in Justice Step and amazing.
Currently, I think he's working on like one book right now, which I think is ending. It's a mini series which has Spider-Man, Luke Cage, Jessica Jones, Iron Man, and
you're talking about
more
the
in it.
I
think it's.
I'm not your agenda.
Yeah.
It's not 39 points. Tell you the truth. Oh, we got a comment from.
Yeah, he's doing that, and
it's a
has been read.
So does everyone like the new Teen Titans run? Are you kind of mixed
all
on
he's
so
doing
far?
now.
I'm gonna keep reading it. If I don't like any, if I don't get like some old people back, I might drop the book.
I don't like. I had mixed feelings. The special had some good stuff and then had some bad stuff. Well, like when I saw Damien pull the gun out on Black Mask, I'm like, "What the hell are you doing?"
He technically he didn't kill him because remember, if you read the most recent issue, he has Black Mask locked up, so he didn't really kill Black Mask.
But the other henchmen,
he's not the only one he has locked up. He also has Onomatopoeia, some guy with a red-looking mask. I'm not sure who this guy is, but he's not Red Hood. There's a few people. Remember who was in that picture, Tivia, at the end of the issue?
Black
Mask.
Yeah,
Atomic Skull. But there was one guy I didn't recognize. He was a guy wearing like a red cloth mask. I don't think this guy was Grifter, but I have no idea who this guy is.
Neither do I. He's not Grifter at all.
He was one he was the one hanging next to Atomic Skull to his left.
Was that confused the hell? I mean, what the hell is Damien doing? Why is he putting people in prison that have no water, no food, no sun? That's it.
Why is he written so inconsistently? Like, you look at what Tomasi was doing, like really pushing him into more upbeat, positive direction. Then all of a sudden, it's just like out of fucking nowhere. Like, it's just like Justice, no justice. Oh, he's just this. The hell is going on here? I understand the
I have no idea why he's written too differently. Heck, Ben Percy, I didn't really care for his direction of what I didn't care for the way he wrote Damien. I mean, Tomasi did a lot better job writing him. Even Gleason and Ray Fox did a lot of Damien than Ben Percy did.
Dan Jordan had to go John at the perfect at the in action coloring, and Tomasi had to build on that. But now John's gone. He's with evil Grandpa, which I'm still pissed off about. Right? Do something he wanted.
Yeah, but
thank goodness Super Sons.
Yeah, we have Avengers Super Sons come out this week.
I read the preview series. I read the preview so far for it. Like, I was laughing my head off at like the final end of like the 4-page preview. I'm like, this is I read this and I'm like, wow, this is what we should be having like monthly, because I'm upset that Bendis took over both titles. Like, I wish they would have kept at least Tomasi in that on Superman. If they kept them on that and Bendis took over action, I think it would have been okay. And then Dan Jurgens goes on.
Action is so boring. I read the latest issue. It's so boring to the point I just passed out. Like, what the hell did I read?
At least the case of Superman, he has a pretty good idea. Where apparently Earth is in the Phantom Zone, which is weird.
Yeah, somehow. That means we get more of Rogol Zar, guys. Everyone's favorite villain.
Why?
Yes, I agree, Talon. Throw Tomasi on Teen Titans. Just throw Tomasi on every title. I mean...
Agreed. Wait,
if you want to think of a good...
Yeah, what's up?
What's being on Teen Titans? What's going on with them putting people in jail? Well,
yeah, I did a review on my channel on it. And with that one, like I said, I'm like, if you just throw him in like the Phantom Zone or something like that, like his own little like prison, I'm fine with him having his own little prison. It's just, it looks like he just kind of, I don't know if he's just letting them there just die, if he's like keeping them alive, or basically just torturing them to death. I have no idea. We'll have to wait and see more, because it's like they did some progression with him as like a team leader, like actually bringing people in and like being like, you know, more
kidnap
responsible.
them.
Yeah, like
kidnap them.
yeah, it's just I hate how inconsistently he's written. I hate how inconsistently. Every writer wants to do something different, unless it's like Tomasi, Gleason, or shoot, who's the other guy? He wrote no, not Glass. He wrote him in the Prelude to the Wedding, the first one with the Robin vs. Ross.
Oh, I know.
Seeley.
Yeah, Seeley.
Those three are the ones I wanted writing him. Like just those three.
What about James Tinian, Will Damien, Roger Pervin, and Tim Drake? Speaking of Tim Drake, I'm concerned about. Wait, Biscuit.
Tim Seeley. Well, after the Hellblazer, I think the only book that he's kind of involved with is the Resurrection series, where he's the editor of it. But as for a writer, well, Super Sons, that's it. So he is doing. He's doing issue 1001 of the Tech. I don't think it's going to come out this year. It might come out next year.
Makes sense, but I come found it came out this year, so it makes sense to tell it kind of next. Oh, basically, I want to ask you about Titan. What's your opinion on the new Titans run-up?
I don't like it. I didn't even like the fact that they changed the team. Like, why? They worked so well. We finally got a good Teen Titans book.
Yeah, they keep Donna. Yeah, they kept Donna on the team, but that was the only person besides Dick they actually kept on the team. But they also added Miss Martian and Natasha Irons, a.k.a. the Second Steel.
I don't know. Steel feels out of place there for sure, but I'm happy Miss Martian is back. But
yeah, I think mine back too.
I thought this was John Henry Irons. No, this is his niece.
Yep, but I'm fine about it. I miss her. Like, ever Superwoman ended, I've been wondering where they've been. Oh, speaking of the Hero Crisis, what time I heard the crisis? But this thing I want to talk about this for a long haul. Okay, like get your 3 points. Since you covered Hero Crisis, like why Hero Crisis get about Identity Crisis all over again?
I have no fucking clue.
Yeah, no, but
because we gotta shake things up.
Just be glad that for this book, just be glad Brad Militer is not writing it.
Oh yeah.
Why?
I mean, but he did write that pretty good short story in Action Comics 1000.
Yeah, I know that Brad Militer is a good writer when it comes to comic books, like some, but probably the most dumbest thing he did for Identity Crisis was reveal raid on the satellite.
Oh yeah, that did happen.
I mean,
that was probably the dumbest thing about that miniseries. I think most people agree. Some people may like that miniseries. That was the dumbest thing that Brad Militer did with that series.
I liked it. It's a dark story. It has tension. I like that kind of stuff.
It's that the thing that the mystery doesn't really add up because the main culprit is Sue Dibney, but then she. Yeah.
Well, not Sue. It's Jean
Waring. No, that's not Sue Dibney. My bad. She got killed off. But Jean Waring.
Yeah, it became Jean Waring, who later became Eclipso, and then instead of like, idiot, not taking as woman that didn't say take work in asylum.
Blue Beetle, I actually got
why sent her there for it?
I think that was right. 2015 got judged for a killer, and it was awesome. I miss 2015 and I miss Blue Beetle. Speaking of Blue Beetle, where's Blue Beetle? We haven't seen him ever since book ended.
Who knows?
What's everyone's thoughts on the New Age of Heroes? I never read
He's
any
not the
of
only
them.
book ended.
It's not interesting to me. I
Superwoman
don't
has
read
not
it.
been seen since her book ended.
I really like New Age of Heroes. New Age of Heroes. Not trying to interrupt, but I love New Age of Heroes. New Age was pretty cool. Daniel was awesome. Simon was actually interesting. Simon I heard was good. Curse of Brimstone, it's interesting, but kind of goes over off. But it makes sense.
I don't
Yeah.
read it. It's not
Like,
really interesting to me.
Damage, from what I've heard, is basically DC's answer to the Hulk. But have you noticed this, guys, that every time Damage comes out lately, Weapon Age comes out the same week?
I did notice that. That's weird.
Yeah, and did you also notice, though, that in the same week we had the issue, Damage was fighting frickin' Swamp Thing? We had
Yep.
Weapon H fighting Man Thing?
I didn't know that.
Oh,
I didn't
no.
we were
And
Weapon Age.
I think that, if I remember, I think that Venditti writes Damage, doesn't he?
Yeah, it does, and awesome. It's actually a good book.
And he also writes Hawkman.
Hawkman. Oh, wait.
Yeah, you writes Hawkman.
No, it was Hawkman and Dark Side Metal.
Have you, Tevye, have
The
you started reading the new
series,
Hawkman series?
I
No,
love.
I'm not.
One thing is that we have. Okay, we have Brian Hitch writing it, doing the artwork. That's good. Keep him on the artwork. Keep him away from the writing because the guy sucks at writing.
Brian is a horrible writer. He wrote the Art Judging in America. It sucked. Like, that book got delayed and delayed to the point of insanity. Wait, did you read Judging in America?
Yes. I'm like, couldn't you, I don't know, ask Tony S. Daniel to help you with the artwork? If you, at least when he was doing Detective, or when he was doing Detective or Batman, it's not like he's doing both the Rock and Savage Hawkman. He still got the damn book out on time. He never delayed the book.
Wait, didn't say cheap one.
Tom McFarlane, as far as I can tell, for him when he was doing when he's doing Spawn, he generally puts the book on time. Even Eric Larson, the guy who's in the writing artwork for Savage Dragon for years, still.
Since we're on the topic of
And yeah, Brian Hitch can't
artists,
put a book on time. It's
I
weird.
kind of, since we're on the topic of artists, I kind of want to mention this because I noticed nobody mentioned this at all, and it really shows how forgettable this event is. What is going on with Doomsday Clock?
Oh yeah, I completely forgot. That book been
I just read the last issue.
That
I thought it
book
was
is
pretty good.
interesting. I love Doomsday Clock. It's amazing.
But it's been
They
delayed.
had not the most recent issue, but the previous one. They had, I think it was in one where it had Punch and Judy. Well, the Watchmen version of Punch and Judy meet one of the Jokers.
Wait, Nick, your mic went in and out.
I don't know why my mic is doing that, but anyways, we've also had something that has not been followed up on yet. Rorschach and Saturn Girl meet Johnny Thunder.
I think that's gonna be good. Issue 7, I think.
And Alan Scott's Lantern.
Oh yeah, that's another.
I think the most recent 6 that just came out, and they had an issue where they
They're talking about
they had one
mine.
issue, which you remember the cover for this one, Tibia, where it's pancakes, with syrup in the shape of a Rorschach,
I remember that.
where it's basically the second Rorschach. That I actually found to be interesting.
Saying, wait, basically, you were saying with Doomsday Clock because
No, because this is what I don't get. I mean,
But
there's a
part of
lot of good stuff there, but nobody's talking about it.
Because
Isn't
the
it?
bookies keep getting like put out every other month, and that's what's
and
hurting.
it gets enjoyed to the one with Sandy.
Not
Damn.
the fault of Gary Frank. That's the fault of Jeff Johns.
That
Because the guy is super busy.
he's a really.
I mean,
He's writing like
That's also
1,000
like-
things at once.
Justice League was delayed. Yeah. Though he's
Wait.
also apparently, I heard he was named the showrunner for Stargirl.
Yeah, he's writing
Is it-
that. Doom Patrol, Titans.
A good portion of what's going to be in DC Universe.
yeah,
The
did
live
you
action
give
Part
it
of the
Yeah,
Green
live
Lantern
streaming.
Corps movie.
the streaming service app?
pretty much Jeff Johns is writing as much as he can, and like I mean the DCEU,
So he can salvage the DC. Whatever
that
universe.
one I don't blame him for
Yeah.
Justice League. That was just a clusterfuck
Yeah.
of everyone just going too many cooks in the
Did you guys
kitchen.
hear what Snyder said about
I heard
the
that.
Robin?
I heard about that. Basically, Snyder said Dick Grayson is dead.
Wait, and what?
I don't want to talk about that. I really don't.
Wait, and what?
In the movie, in BB at the Robin, it was Dick Grayson Robin.
Yeah, so apparently Snyder did
can't say
something
anything.
Dan DiDio was trying to do since he became DC co-publisher. Kill Dick Grayson.
Yep, and died in the movies.
But
Yay.
WB put their foot down and is like, no, this is Jason Todd.
Yeah.
So thank you, WB. I know people complain about your studio interference, but that's one where I'm like, you know what? Thank you. Thank you.
That's the one time I'm with WB on that one. That is stupid.
Yeah,
Let's
like
kill Nightwing off.
Yeah. I've actually
should've just
spoke
had-
to Chuck Dixon about the whole thing of DiDio trying to kill off Nightwing. Even he agrees that was a stupid idea to do. Even hated the fact during Identity Crisis where all the, with the exception of Lady Vic, all got killed off during Identity Crisis. When
Yeah, Vice
the
got killed
super
off.
secret side suit villains dropped chemical on Bloodhaven.
That's not Infinite Crisis. That's Infinite Crisis.
That's Infinite.
Yeah, that's
yeah,
Infinite.
Infinite Crisis.
can we just get rid of Dan DiDio?
Yeah, I agree. Dan DiDio is kind of hard damage because Bendis' book is sucking. It's so boring. Arson Support, I don't give a damn. I don't give Arson Support.
I think I think he's doing one. Isn't he doing one of the New Wave books?
He's doing
Sideways.
The New Age of Heroes.
Sideways is
Spider-Man.
actually pretty fun. It is real like Spider-Man, but it's actually pretty good. That's the shocking thing about it.
Yeah, but the thing is, he's not shooting webs.
No, we're shooting portals.
Basically, yeah, he shoots freaking portals that are shapes of stars.
Yep.
Doesn't Raven have that ability too, where she just opens portals? So it's like
Raven has whatever
Yeah,
you want her to
portals
have.
aren't in
Her
shape of
magic is
actual
so
ravens, not
inconsistent.
stars.
Yeah, Mr. Dog about that one.
Yep.
It is inconsistent.
Yeah, and speaking of last time we saw Raven ever comic book, she didn't do her
When-
entirety of Ben Percy over Titans.
She
never did for that.
I think this is back in the New 52. She was still possessed by Trigon, tried to infiltrate the Teen Titans, and didn't go anywhere.
Oh yeah, it did happen.
Yeah.
But that was it.
I don't know if Dell stuff, right? I forget.
Yeah.
The guy blocked it from my
But-
memory.
At least that
Oh!
storyline wasn't as bad as the trial of Kid Flash or that
But
really
boy,
odd
don't remind me.
storyline with Superboy.
Don't remind me. That book's just so stupid.
Well,
That
you know,
one
Teddy,
funny
I
story.
did do a review of those really bad storylines.
Yep.
I think I reviewed them and man, comes Liddell. I mean, people may like some of the other stuff he did for Teen Titans, but most people agree Kid Flash was stupid.
It was
So
stupid.
was that
It never
storyline with
sense.
Superboy.
Yeah, and by the end I started that bullshit run. Bartoy when Soul's in the future. Thank you, Bartoy, for proving I hate you.
Wait a minute. Somebody actually liked his run on Teen Titans?
Oh,
I
no.
have yet to meet that person. 'Cause
Yeah, Edgar likes his run, but even
Oh.
he agrees. The child Kid Flash was stupid.
Yeah, but he agreed trying to keep it with garbage, which I approve, and that one, that story was garbage. What is it?
Yeah,
Soul's
and
got
then
screwed over. Superboy got screwed over.
2014. The first 7 issues were good. The first couple issues of the Superboy arc was good,
Awful.
and then after the convert downhill fast.
you mean
Like-
from like his solo series, not with the Teen Titans? Is that what you're
with the
talking
Teen Titans.
You're talking
Yeah,
about
the Teen
Superboy.
Titans were. Yeah, Superboy when he came back. After
Ooh.
apparently he got killed off in Krypton Returns.
I read that train
Oh,
wreck. I get
yeah.
who ran on that book. It sucked.
Yeah.
Oh, speaking of Connor,
Yeah.
that remind me. Where is Connor? We still never gonna answer that question. That kind of it's been bothering ever since.
They referenced him in A Lonely Place of Living.
Yeah, they did. They also
But
referenced it in
Tim
action
was like,
comics.
"Who's Connor?"
To be honest, as long as
Yeah,
John
but
is still around,
Did
Connor's
make a
going to be around.
during the
Yeah.
events of Super Sons of Tomorrow, though, was the one from the future.
Yep. It was with Evil Tim Drake.
If they just
Yeah, I actually own that trade, Tivy. I know you know that I did a review of it.
I know.
You guys know how cheap that trade was? Like, when I got the Super Horns Noble and I look at the price tag, $14.99?
Yep.
I'm like, seriously? I'll sell for trade.
Yep.
Usually it's like $20-$25, not $15.
You know what else is a good question? Where's Wonder Girl?
That was also the same trade of Volume 2.
Oh yeah, that
Disappeared.
wasn't even an insider. Where did Wonder Girl?
I saw her. What was that new talent showcase that came out a couple years ago? That was last time I saw her.
Wait, Biscuit. Do you know what Wonder Girl is?
No, they haven't mentioned anything about her. I was wondering about that too. But then again, I mean, if you look at her run, she's
Also
not
missing
really
that
interesting.
has not been seen in a couple of years. Bunker.
Yeah,
cares
him
about
too.
Bunker?
Oh, yeah, Bunker, him too. Bunker was the only character I cared about to start with the Teen Titans, and that's it.
Yeah, a lot of people did like Bunker. I love his design.
I did
love the
too.
fact that he.
I did three.
I didn't have a problem with the fact he was gay. Unlike what Bendis did with. At least that Scout doesn't know how to write gay character properly.
Oh,
Alright.
Iceman.
Okay, Bunker being gay, that doesn't bother me. But I'm just saying, like, his character, just
And he was
I
a
didn't like-
fanboy. That's something rare you see in a comic book. A superhero who's a fanboy.
technically you get that
Really?
with Shazam. Shazam's a fanboy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Shazam is fanboy too.
Yeah, Captain
Yeah.
Marvel.
Though Miss Marvel is there's a few at Marvel who are sort of fangirls. I know Miss Marvel's like that. So is Nydia Van Dyne, aka the second.
Nadia Van
the
Dyne
third
is
Wasp.
so boring. I don't give a damn. Like, I'm sorry. I just don't care about her. Truth. She did nothing. Me, in my
It's
opinion.
actually quite interesting, and I know for a fact that apparently Marvel decided to listen to the fans when for her trade, like her entire issue series sold so well. Marvel comic book.
Wait, what? Wait. They brought up a back? I thought I got canceled. My Iceman got canceled. Oh, I forgot that book coming back.
Yeah, but Iceman's coming back along with Unbeatable Wasp.
Yeah, Iceman's book is coming back. I dropped that book. I didn't want to finish it.
I don't care
Yeah,
about
but
anything.
here's the thing. Really, we're giving Iceman another chance on ongoing series, and I saw it says like, oh, it's going to be a 5-minute series.
Don't know. I don't care. That is true. Anyway, that's another
I think the reason why they did this, and this was my theory, I think because people were having backlash against the fact that, I think because the announcement the series is coming back faced so much backlash against Marvel, I was like, okay, and because of how much that Sonya Grace is a dick on Twitter, they posted up like, we're giving back your series, but we're having only do 5 issues. That's it.
Oh, we got the comment from Matthew last 3 days ago. Hi guys, what's going on? I missed you up in the 90s. Same here, we all miss you, boy. Do you guys think Jeff John should consider why we're shooting 2 bands? Yes, he should. That'll be at the meeting.
That's one of his best. That's one of his best runs ever. I love that run.
I agree.
Yeah, I've read it. I kind of wish because Wally's off the Titans. I kind of wish that DC would give him his own ongoing series again.
It should give it on to gotten by now because Flash Forward, the way Flash Forward ended with speaking of Flash Forward, I do want to talk about it. Bart Allen, he came back. Like Biscuit, we have about it. Real Bart Allen came back.
Yeah, he's back his Impulse for some reason.
We'll see how that fits in.
Glad that he's back. So
But that was Bart Tour. Bye bye. Oh, Real Bart Allen.
Like, how long is? I mean, remember how long he sat on the whole thing with Mina? You know the woman horse. He sat in there for like almost a year, and then he finally did something with it.
Yeah, well, I'm having Real Bart Allen back, but here's the question: Who is the prisoner who escaped basically in the future? I think of the Anti-Monitor because it's world where worlds die. There's one person who does that. The Anti-Monitor.
I think it's Anti-Monitor Tivia because he's dead.
Oh, I forgot. Dark Side War. Damn it. Okay, then who?
Yeah, I know. Tiffy, did you know this about the Anti-Monitor? Because when you think of the Anti-Monitor, you think of this big, huge, hulking guy who's about twice the size of the planet. and Jeff Johns made him the size of Darkseid.
Yeah,
What the heck was up with
it was
that?
confusing. Like, what the hell was that? My brain exploded.
It's the Anti-Monitor, except different color, short.
And less powerful, and that's a win.
That's the only thing they changed about him is the fact that he was shorter and
It's weird that it came from him.
the fact he has a real name, Mobius.
Yeah, that too.
Yeah, that too. That could be the army. What? I thought Moby.
Yeah, and apparently he spent time destroying the crime. And he has a grudge against Darkseid. As far as I know, I don't think John's ever bothered to explain what was his grudge against Darkseid.
He never explained it.
My bad guess that they were explaining
it was weird.
Into DC. It was in DC.
Yeah, and apparently I kind of missed this. Apparently, Anti-Monitor was one who killed Ultraman.
Good. I'm glad Ultraman died. The conversation with you, man, right out dead. Actually, Owlman died. Thank God. Dr. Man killed him. They Dr. Man killed Owlman and killed. Oh,
Owlman blew up in Manhattan.
Yep.
Do you remember who killed Superwoman?
I forgot.
Yeah, I think it was Guerrero killed her. Darkseid killed her.
I don't know if anybody thought this was weird. Like, why in the war, whenever she was alone, why did she have to be butt naked and covered with tattoos?
I don't know. I don't get out of weird. I mean,
weird that the artist that Gary Frank thought this was a good idea to do, and I love the fact Robinson actually followed up with this in Wonder Woman.
It was epic. Wonder Woman with Darkseid was amazing. Holy shit, that fight was epic.
That was a good fight. It was epic fight.
Yeah, the one fight I was so happy with, the fact we finally get a chance to see in this continuity, Darkseid versus
Zeus, the king of the gods from Olympus. It was awesome.
That was a badass fight.
It was.
Yeah, I'm surprised he didn't beat the crap out of Grohl for killing his sons.
Actually, I think. Mr. Common from everyone said, "Quote." All I'm gonna say is they killed Weather Wall and Hill Nicole and drama and everything DC except maybe for static, only because it can't do it. Oh yeah, I did have a little static. That's what it come out with Daniel. I forget.
Where is Static? I mean, last I saw him was the end of his solo book. At least 6 years ago.
Apparently, didn't they say they're bringing back the milestone characters?
Yeah, I heard about Illuma.
They're pushing it. Some people thought it was going to come in October, but apparently it wasn't there. So DC is pushing it to November, which is weird. It's like released the milestone print for some reason.
I think I know why, because Dreamman Widow is still at the part of that company after in front of a husband company, which makes sense.
Yeah, but actually added the milestone characters to the DC Universe.
Dream Duffy. I give up.
Hold on.
He's the one who created them, so it kind of made sense to add them to the universe.
Oh wait, guys.
Created like every single one of them.
I was right. So yeah, the Milestone Media characters are coming back early sometime by the end of the year in this last quarter, and the characters are coming back are Icon, Rocket, a new Static series, a title called Duo, and 2 new titles called Earth M and Love Army. So basically, yeah, Static is coming back. Thank God.
Yeah, but I think either they're gonna go back to Earth, or they're gonna be in the regular DC universe. Who the heck knows?
My bet they'll probably on their own Earth because finally after the disaster.
Does anybody think it's weird though that apparently Marvel exists in the DC multiverse?
What? Milestone? I was pretty fine with that.
Yeah, Marvel. Yeah, I think that's a little weird. I know that Linkar actually poked fun at that. It's like when they had, I think it was a miniseries doing it up on top of Earth. Like, what is Marvel doing here?
Oh yeah, that was funny.
I thought that was so funny. The fact he poked fun at that.
Yeah. Very dumb.
But
apparently we got weeks that came out, but I didn't think it was cool. I covered some recent DC weeks on my channel. Yeah, quote. The week death will Ray Palmer and Kyle Rayner, but Kyle won't die the way the miniseries. Wait, what? Kyle's gonna die? Again? Wait,
Yeah, but these are just the leaks. It's just like, and the rumored killer is supposed to
Yeah.
be Professor Zoom impersonating Wally. So everyone's gonna be like, "Oh, they made Wally a killer and stuff," but it's really Professor Zoom doing some shit like they did on the Flash, and so on and so forth. Heroes in Crisis is gonna
Yeah.
suck.
Yeah, it's
Did
supposed
you
to be awful.
hear about that rumor that the reason why Tomasi left Green Lantern Corps was because DC was going to kill off Jon Stewart?
I heard about the New 52. That's what happened, but thank God that's not happening.
Yeah, Tomasi about that. That was not the reason he left. That was another writer who was going to come after him, but he didn't remember exactly who the writer was. But the writer who came after him was Venditti and Van Jansen.
I like Venditti's DC Rebirth run.
They're the
on
ones who cover Green
titles.
Lantern Corps after he left.
Yeah. Like, the game DCU one is good and amazing and epic. It's way better DCU crap. DCU is garbage. What the hell is DCU?
But if you look at, let's say, his second arc, the Battle of Light arc, which was amazing, which had the Green Lantern Corps and the Sinestro Corps take on Brainiac in his late Bronze Age form.
That was a good story.
Also, New 52.
Yeah, and I thought
it
this
was
was
funny.
so hilarious. I think this was Venditti basically insulting DC editorial over. You remember the Pretty Lobo?
Yep, I remember.
Apparently, Brainiac caught him and put him in a bottle. Yeah, and Guy Gardner, who's an actual quarterback, was going to don't throw that one.
Yeah, but
Put him
basically,
aside. Don't bother with
putting
him.
at the bottle.
Him.
Wait, I didn't hear that. What?
Apparently at the New 52 logo with
It was so hilarious.
he got trying to bottle with Brainiac.
When Lobo showed up, first he showed up in Deathstroke. Apparently, somebody at DC didn't like that Lobo, so they created a new Lobo, the pretty one. And then that Lobo apparently got killed by the pretty Lobo at the third one. And then we have him come back recently during Justice League vs. Suicide Squad. Now, when Liefeld drew Lobo, I actually liked how he drew him in Deathstroke.
I didn't. I wouldn't have loved that artwork. It just looks stupid.
Yeah, but his design, the way he drew him, yeah, it's basically how, well, it's not exactly the 90s design people are familiar with. It's more like the 80s design he had, where he was not as bulky, but it's the same exact design.
But then they made Lobo after I saw it, and he had girlfriend. It was weird because confusing me. It was stupid. My brain exploded up better.
Yeah, and Liefeld made him a slaver, and apparently the guy was too lazy to draw. So let's just draw holes in the ground for no reason.
Yeah, I got it.
The only thing I thought interesting about the Lobo arc for Deathstroke was Lobo had looked. But Deathstroke, I didn't have a problem the way he drew him, but yeah, pouches.
Can we talk about this current Deathstroke arc that's going on?
Yeah, what's up with the current Deathstroke arc?
Pouches.
The Who's Your Daddy arc?
I actually spoke to Higgins, who was the original writer of that run. Like, why did he leave after 8 issues? He said he was fired.
Wait, what?
Who?
Who?
Who was the original writer of the Deathstroke run that started with New 52? The reason why he left after 8 issues is because he said he was fired. That's the reason why he left, because he was fired.
Well, Kyle Higgins is having a better life writing Power Rangers right now, and he's doing a really great job at it.
Yep.
Well, he did do a recent work for DC. He did the Nightwing, the New Order miniseries recently. It's really good.
I'm not reading that Nightwing run because if I read it, I'm just gonna be staring at that red logo for the whole time. I'm like, that just ruins the suit.
No. It's not.
Yeah, but
it's not
about the cover.
It's New Order. It's actually an Elseworld story.
Yeah, it is. It's actually, according to Higgins, he's very proud. He cites as one of his best works ever done. And he's most proud of this one.
It's actually really good. Anyway, that's what I'm talking about. What did you talk the current Deathstroke arc?
Okay, can we talk about this Deathstroke versus Batman? Who's Your Daddy crap?
Yeah,
This is
bad it was.
weird. Even
This is-
Deathstroke pointed this out at the beginning. Yeah, the DNA test is fake.
Yeah,
So
and at the beginning of the arc, Batman's
why is
like,
Kali insinuating
Wait,
that Deathstroke is Damian's father, even though that Batman took a DNA test years ago and proved that Damian is in fact his son.
Aaron, here's you were saying?
yeah, and then like if you go like in Super Sons, like later on, like in the Deathstroke arc, Talia is just like, oh yeah, this is really your son. And then like when she's alone, nobody else is around. In Super Sons, it's like the issue where John Kent meets her and she's like, what are you doing to our son? What are you doing to our son, Bruce? There's no one else around to talk to. She's saying it to herself out loud. I mean, obviously there's something going on because I read the preview for this one, and it's just like, this is Deathstroke for Batman, not fucking Mari, like who's the father. I'm like, what is going on in the storyline? It's like it's so all over the place. I was liking Christopher Priest's run for the most part, but like this story arc, it's like you'd think it would be better. Like it's like Christopher Priest, Batman versus Deathstroke. It's not even really Batman versus Deathstroke. It's a paternity test, and then you got some other crap going on. I don't know what I'm reading.
I don't know what's going on anymore. Why do you keep flipping timelines? Why Deathstroke Damien? My brain's hurting.
And plus, if they did try and change his lineage, it would like, for one thing, it'd be kind of a slap in the face to Grant Morrison for creating that character specifically as the son of Batman, and it would negate years of like storylines, create a bunch of continuity problems. Like it would make a lot of titles seem pointless. Like why would you call it Super Sons if he's not really like the son of Batman and the son of Superman? Or like why is it called Robin's Son of Batman? Or why is he consistently marketed as Son of Batman if you're just gonna be like, oh, I'm just gonna throw it away? Because I read an interview with Christopher Priest and he's just like, yeah, I thought it would be kind of funny if Robin ended up being Slade's son. That was the whole reason for this entire arc. And I'm like, oh, sweet Jesus, no.
So, it was a joke?
It was a joke.
It was meant to be a joke, and somebody at editorial thought, oh, right, we can actually do something with this.
Yep.
Like, what the fuck? Anybody with a brain knows that this isn't going to last forever. So,
Yep.
Yeah. So I'll be glad when this storyline is done. We can just get back to like some hopefully good Deathstroke storylines. But this one has just been like for the past like 6 months since I heard about it. I'm like, this is like such a stupid idea.
6 months? The story been going 6 months? Why the story taking forever to end?
It just won't end, and I have no idea what's going on. Like, oh, I know who's behind this. Like, what? Like, it's just like it's so all over the place because everything's all non-linear.
Is it Talia? Is it Bruce? Is it you, Alfred?
I don't know.
anything that ends it.
That was so funny if Alfred at the end and with the green behind all this. I laughed so hard that was funny.
All right, just end it.
There we go. Speaking of the big event going on in Hilton Crisis or during that with Superman, what's on the Arden subplot? This Arden subplot going on to the point I don't give it anymore. Like, oh, by the way, we found out actually who kind of fired. This new villain, named Red Cloud.
Ugh.
Who is she? I have no idea. Apparently it's a mystery, apparently. So, not only we find out who caught the fires now, and apparently Lord's not back on Earth. Huh?
Oh yeah, this new villain, Red Cloud.
Yeah, but that's not all. Apparently Lois Lane's back on Earth. What? I'm sorry. Did I miss something? How is she get back on Earth? Where's John? Where's Superboy? What? What? Bendis, you're confused.
And you know something else that's bugging me though, and I noticed Bendis has a trope for doing this. You know how back when I'm reading Ultimate Spider-Man, he has a trope of making characters swear all the time, and he's now currently doing that with Superman. I'm like, wait a minute, Superman does not swear this much at all.
That's
I'm like,
New 52 Superman.
well, heck,
he doesn't do that.
Swears a lot.
Yeah, but one thing you got praised by Bendis, having Superman drop an F-bomb.
I don't really like that.
Jessica Jones was noteworthy for doing that a lot when he was writing Jessica Jones.
Well, that's Jessica
Superman.
Jones. Superman we're talking about.
Jessica Jones, it made more sense.
No, he's just making a comparison.
But Superman is not. Yeah, but I'm sure you probably noticed, even though he's swearing kind of now, but is he dropping an F-bomb?
Not really.
Not really, but he's swearing a lot.
Not yet.
Not yet. This is right. Not yet.
Yeah, and I heard that the reason why he took Superman, he's a huge fan of Superman.
Bullcrap. Bullcrap.
Yeah, that's what he says. He loves Superman. He just, he said in an interview, I mean, not only was he not going to, like, retcon Superman Lois's marriage and not kill off John, he says he's not going to ignore people's continuity, previous continuity when it came to Superman. He's not going to ignore that.
When it comes to him, okay.
So he says.
So it seems because he already did that when he was getting Man of Steel miniseries with Artifact. That's still gonna be down.
Yeah, but here's the thing about the Man of Steel miniseries. He didn't retcon anything related to present day Superman. He just retconned something related to Krypton.
Yeah, but I don't like that.
That was it.
I don't like that though.
I mean,
But,
yeah. That's the only thing he changed about him was
logo is
how
on.
Krypton was destroyed. For years, it was Master. Basically, what Bendis did was rip off idea that apparently JMS did in Superman Earth 1.
Why?
But use different characters.
We don't need logos on. We want to destroy.
But using pretty much the same idea. An alien destroying Krypton.
How many times have I seen that story? Oh wait, I've seen it done before.
Simply put, he
Injustice
ripped
2.
off JMS.
God, that's so stupid. Like, I'm tired of Krypton being retcon.
Yeah.
Stop. Retcon. Krypton exploding. We get it. Exploding. That's it. We don't need that.
But at least he's not retconning Superman's history, like all the adventures he's had. It's also, I'm not sure world that Samurai is doing this. Why is going back to being a villain after being here for the past few years?
Who?
Wait, going back to being a villain?
Lex.
Oh,
actually, that does kind of make sense because there's no justice. He's chaotic, but it makes sense when to go back to that.
Look,
One thing I noticed though by his lineup for Legion of Doom, it looks like it's very heavily inspired by by the lineup for Justice League Unlimited.
Which I love. I actually love that. It's so awesome.
I just don't like the fact
I
that they're
think
ruining
it's-
Lex in a way because they just threw away all of his character development.
And here's something I don't understand. The Justice League book is not bothered to explain this very much. Okay, the Justice League are based out of the Hall of Justice again.
Yep.
Which is the verse of I should point out the last time Hall of Justice showed up in DC comic book was Justice League International, Volume 3, Number 1, in 2011.
Wait.
That was the last time the Hall of Justice showed up.
Well,
If
we
you
tried to put
get-
it back into good
One
use again.
thing I have noticed though about this Hall of Justice exterior is exactly the same as it's been for years. It's one thing that did not change about it, which I think a lot of people are happy that the exterior did not change. It changed. The interior, the exterior is exactly the same.
Dumbfounded, by the way. They're putting the whole judge in the
Which-
icon to stay.
Yeah,
Okay, so
And-
yeah. So
I'm
Tevye,
sure you probably noticed this. That apparently, did this, and so did Scott Snyder do this. Apparently, forgot to do this during his run. Have scenes in their base operations. Hitch apparently forgot they even had a headquarters.
Oh yeah, I did forget about that. We brought my mind up better book where I got so bored that I passed out. That book was so boring.
When Priest took over the book, like almost every issue, we had the Watchtower.
Every issue we had, what?
He's just going in and out. Just give
The
us some time.
Watchtower.
he's really going in and
The
out.
Watchtower. He had the Watchtower show up.
Yeah, that was true.
Tevye, since we're on the topic of DC Comics, why don't we switch over to DC animated films, and we could actually start talking about the next batch of films that are coming out for next year.
Oh yeah, we could talk about that because I had to eat before DC.
We have-
just keep
The
going.
only
What's your-
films I could think of we have are Batman Hush, The Reign of the Supermen.
Yep.
There's a Justice League film coming out. I don't remember the name of it. Do you remember the name of it, Tibia?
Justice League versus Fatal
Just a
5.
very fair 5.
And there's Wonder Woman Bloodlines.
Yeah.
And then we also got this Constantine movie that's supposed to be coming out. I guess that's the CWC, which is apparently set in that shared continuity of films I found out.
Really?
It is. I thought that.
Yeah, I did hear also, apparently, there's a rumor that the Justice League Dark film, the anime film, is getting a sequel.
What?
Yay! Finally!
That movie's getting a sequel? Are you kidding me?
I wanted a third Titans movie because of the way that one ended.
I love the lineup. Everybody was consistently written.
I
Of
feel
how
like
they're
Super
depicted in
Saiyan
the comics.
They
Oh,
killed off
100%.
Swamp Thing, which I'm not happy about.
Yeah, they did kill Swamp Thing.
Yeah, me neither.
Yeah.
You know what we need for like some of these movies?
Yeah,
They should
and
do
rest in
comic book
peace,
tie-ins.
Swamp Thing's creators who passed away just last week, and Bernie Wrightstein. Rest in peace, you two.
Oh, yeah.
We need comic book tie-ins for these animated movies, so we know what's going on in between them.
Well, the only film I could think of that actually had one
Choose
was
one.
just like Gods
Hell
and
to Pay.
Monsters. That had tie-ins.
Which one?
Gods and Monsters.
Gods and Monsters. That had them, and a Suicide Squad Hell to Pay had like a sequel comic book tie-in, which still had some
And I know
continuity
that
issues.
Batman Harley Quinn, that had tie-in too.
Yeah, but I'm talking about like the shared universe ones.
Oh.
So the DCAMU,
I don't
like
know why they have not had one. It's weird.
the only one in that shared universe of comics is Suicide Squad Hell to Pay, which is like a sequel to the movie.
But that doesn't make sense. The movie
It was actually a pretty good movie, if I might
the
add.
movie was good.
Yeah, Hell to Pay was good. Death of Superman was pretty good.
That shit was awesome.
I haven't had a chance to see either of those movies yet.
I have,
but
they're both good.
DC films so far, the first one they had for the shared universe was Flashpoint.
Yeah,
Which I was just watching that today, just for old time's sake.
Flashpoint's good.
I only
War
and
sucked.
I only film. The film was amazing. They like I was like if you read the comic book like and watch the film, you're like so surprised at how well they stick to the changes. They stick to it really well, and the changes they made to the film made perfect sense.
Flashpoint was good. And just like War, the sequel, it sucked. I hate War. War is garbage.
I liked it when I first saw it.
Yeah, me too.
Green Lantern was my favorite part of that movie. He's like, you phenomenal douchebag.
The they made from the comic to film was they took out Aquaman and replaced him with Captain Marvel for some reason. There is no reason why he was. Yeah,
I don't like that.
And when it came into a sequel, Throne of Atlantis.
Yeah, Throne of Atlantis was worse.
You're like,
yeah. One thing I didn't like about the film, there was this really awesome scene of the cyborg calling all the heroes for backup. In the film, they never did that because Cyborg was on the ocean. They could have had, I don't know, Batman signal from the Watchtower. Nope.
Actually,
to do that.
Watchtower never existed in that universe. Wait. Kind of think of it. We never see Watchtower in that universe.
And someone pointed this out. Someone pointed it out during the review of that film that apparently they made in the original comic book the president of the United States in that comic book in Origin in the film is some random white guy.
Oh yeah, you're right about that.
Oh yeah, I did that.
Which I thought was weird.
War, I don't give it a movie is garbage.
They also changed a little girl who was giving Wonder Woman ice cream. When it came to the design of the costumes of the film, I like everybody's costume. They look really good. Wonder Woman's costume, I did not understand why they need to change her costume for. What was wrong with her costume? She had the Jim Lee costume. There was nothing wrong with it.
Again, it's New 52. What's it? New 52. Whatever. I just I don't give it.
But in the case of the Batman movies, they were bizarre as well. Like if you look at, let's say, Batman versus Robin, where it takes about 4 different stories.
And Shiner the one. No wonder movie was confusing.
It takes from even though they said it's based, even though they said it's adapted from Court of Owls, they take also loose ends. They take loose inspirational elements of also the first arc of Batman and Robin.
From Grant Morrison.
And this Talon villain, the Court of Owls is not.
This guy's going crazy.
As far as I know, I don't think it's working as ever a DC film. I know Waits has one, and that was Doom. That was adaptation of Tower of Babel. That was Mark Waid's story.
Oh, we got the comments, John. Everyone sends a comment. But now I know we want to.
I know John's had several of his stories aside from the. Okay.
Sorry to interrupt, but we got a comment. Everyone is a quote. But now I ignore the reason why the team won't take on John team. It wasn't because the team didn't want to go. It was because the team was struggling to stay together. That is true. Good for did everyone Simmons, but he did right with that. John and Shipman with Super tomorrow. John actually got a with down, but Damon helped vote for him to join the Giants. Like the brain travel continuity. Oh wait, he doesn't.
Yeah, that was bullshit. Because, like,
So I got an opinion to talk about these upcoming. I mean, the upcoming lineup for DC films is great. I mean, I'm not surprised there's another Batman animated film coming out. One, I'm happy that it's Hush that's coming out because I've been asking for a Hush movie for a long time. But
Yeah, so
I want to know, when is Green Lantern getting his own animated movie again? Because
question.
I want a Sinestro. Is it too hard to ask for like a Sinestro Corpse War movie or a Blackest Night movie? To be honest, like that, is it too hard to ask for that?
Yeah. In the case of something like, let's say, Hush, I'm curious though, who is going to play Hush himself?
it better
That's
be
the
Kevin
big
Conroy.
Yeah.
Well,
right.
Conroy's going to play Batman, obviously.
No,
Or
no,
they
I
can
think
have,
it's set in a shared universe.
No,
Well-
don't do that, please. No.
I think it will
Well,
be.
Batman himself, from what I've heard, is still going to be played by Jason O'Mara, who's been playing him since.
So
I
it's a
think
shared
Justice League
universe.
4. Yeah,
It's a shared universe.
Yeah.
Because I remember the press release said it follows the events of the death of Superman.
Oh no. Great.
You know what? I mean, like, if I want a full faithful like, as long as it gets the core of the story right, I'm fine with it. I don't need like a page for page adaptation. If not, I'll read the graphic novel.
Kind of like The Killing Joke.
The Killing Joke, when it's the graphic novel portion, is fine. It's just that 30-minute prologue where Batman fucks Batgirl on the roof. That, like,
Yeah,
the
that
whole
was
audience.
necessary. I'm not sure why in the world did that for, but
If it was Dick Grayson doing
I
it,
gotta
I'd
say,
be
for
perfectly
Jim
fine
Lee
with
work
it.
for DC anim movies, this is the second work he's done. They have adapted into a film. The last one was Just Like Origin, which turned Just Like War.
And I don't know what it took them so long just to get another Wonder Woman movie to happen again.
Same.
Probably I guess after the success of her first film, they feel like, oh, let's decide to give Wonder Woman another movie. I'm like,
I heard the reason why they didn't do one for quite some time because apparently the sales were not very good for movies that were not Batman or Justice League for some reason.
it's always bad. Okay, now this is where I get to my rant. I do not like having Batman on every single slap of merchandise because here's the thing. The only reason why people were buying Justice League Dark was because Batman was in it. So let me just clear this up for you guys. If Batman was not in Justice League Dark, people will not buy that movie. I would still would have watched it if Batman wasn't in it, but of course,
If you want to think of one movie that came out recently that he was not in, The Jewish Contract. He was not in that one.
No, it wasn't
Thank
at all.
fucking God.
no Justice League was in that movie. Thank goodness.
Wait, what movie?
The Judas Contract.
The Judas
Oh yeah,
Contract.
Jewish Contract. Yeah, Jewish Contract. Yeah, which I have. Jewish Contract was an okay movie, but I gotta admit,
Could have been
I
better.
did like the fact that they stuck to very, very good. Well, I thought they stuck to scenes in the comic, but I do agree with this opinion. Cutting out the fight between Tara and Raven was stupid on the part of the
that
animators.
was stupid. Like, where is Cyborg in this movie? Well, Cyborg should be in that movie. Like, I
He's
just
with
Dude,
Justice League,
dude.
so.
Yeah, he's with Justice League. He is not coming back to Teen Titans.
Yeah, but they replaced
Coming back to
him
Teen
with
Titans.
Beetle.
Mm-hmm.
Though I heard something that Blue Beetle got the trap that he got for the film that he fell into. That apparently, I think, was the trap that Cyborg fell into in the original comic book.
Everyone says that quote. I know that ever since 2015, any back anime film is still or not new to the anime or not new to the anime movie universe. Wait, what? Okay. Interesting.
I know when it came to the film itself, I was really hoping Ron Perlman was going to reprise his role as Deathstroke. But the guy who played him did a really good job. I should point out that the guy who played him in the film,
Miguel Ferrer. Great
died
actor.
of throat cancer.
Yeah, like Miguel
Yeah.
Ferrer is a great actor. He's in RoboCop, Hot Shots Per
Ed,
Dukes.
Iron Man 3.
He was also in NCS LA. He was
Really?
in that show. He played assistant director Granger.
Right? Huh. Did not know about that.
Yeah, he was in NCIS LA. They had his character off screen by being stabbed.
I don't watch NCIS. I don't really care that much. So yeah.
Pretty fun series, but I haven't watched it in several years.
Now here's the one
But he
thing-
was very interesting in the show.
guys. One thing I want to ask you guys: which other DC character or team would you like to see get their own DC movie, animated film? If I might add,
Shit, I just had one on my mind. I forgot.
Super
the name. I gotta
Sons.
search this up.
I would love to. I would definitely watch a Super Sons movie.
Yeah.
Heck yes.
I think Super
Well,
Sons written by Tomasi.
The one series I have heard that's been slated for adaptation of film, they announced this like last year. The Long Halloween.
I'm tired of watching Batman animated movies. To be
Yeah,
honest,
me too.
I can never have enough Batman.
But
I
if you
think
want
it's
really
1 hour
that's
of my
not
it's an hour and a
Batman
half.
related, they can turn into a film. Well, the only thing I can think of
Legion of Superheroes.
is
ooh, that would be a good one.
that.
They are so underrated.
The only story I
Yeah.
can think of to make a good film,
Yeah.
The Coming Darkness, the Great Darkness storyline. That would make an excellent movie.
Do we do superheroes?
Yeah, that storyline. What I've heard, I've read it. It's really good.
I can't even call
It's
it.
going to be one of the definitive League of Superhero storylines of all time. It's long, but it's awesome.
Speaking of team that deserve
But DC does something stupid with the trades. Like the storyline, they apparently leave a spoiler on the cover of who because story, and they spoil on the damn cover. Like this into the movie, leave him in shadow. Don't have Darker.
You're like, what? Who?
Darkseid is the main villain of the Great
Oh yeah,
Darkness
yeah.
storyline.
I heard about that one. That's really good. But speaking,
Yeah, but I do agree with the opinion of DC should not have put him on the cover at all. That was part of it.
Speaking of K or team that deserve their own movie, I keep saying to the other eye, give me Super Sons. I want my own Super Sons animated movie. Damn it, Super Sons.
Yes, I think that's what they're going to set up after Death of Superman. I don't know because Jonah Kent and Tim Drake aren't in the universe. I think they're going to have just it be like a Damian and Connor type movie. But if Tomasi writes it, I'm sure he'll make it work.
Yeah,
He did a great job with Death of Superman.
I don't think Tomasi's ever written a script before that I can think of. I know James Amadeus has.
No, he
And so
wrote
it's-
Death of Superman. That was his first script.
You don't get a Superman animated movie. It's actually really good.
That was his first script. So I'm like, fuck it,
Awesome.
make him do a Superman or a Super Sons movie. I feel like because that's what they really want to do. I feel like in 2020 we should see it.
I say give me
Oh.
Jonathan Samuel K. And
You want to
give
think of
me
one
Kane.
character who should get their own solo anime movie?
Oh.
Booster Gold.
No, how about
Booster Gold just being an asshole to everyone would be funny.
Yeah, we about to say Booster Gold for his movie.
If you read
You know-
his original comic book from the 80s, that series is right for an anime movie.
Let's just make a TV show tied in on the DC network to these animated movies universe or whatever. Just do that. I mean, they're pretty much just extended episodes anyways.
Yeah, that would be because I'm think this just came whatchamacallit, Rebellion. Since you said a Legion's a superhero movie would be good, after thinking about Justice League versus Fatal 5, I'm pretty sure I wouldn't be surprised if the Legion makes like a cameo somewhere in that movie.
Yeah.
Oh, that
But
would make me
the
so
one
happy.
problem people have with these films, and I think it's been a big problem for years,
Animation.
Yes.
not the animation. They're only just barely over an hour long.
Oh yeah,
This
that was short.
years.
They're like an
Yeah.
hour and 16
Why is
minutes.
it other films made by other really good studios can last for about 2 hours, and yet this can last for maybe 10 minutes?
Because these are like
That's why you
direct-
have plenty of
direct-
story you can use for the film. Like one of the best examples of this was Superman Public Enemies. This one, I think you have great story here, and yet two characters for no reason, and the film is only like an hour and 10 minutes.
It's a movie's good. It's actually consistent. That's it keeps coming. Oh,
Stupid.
speaking of Super Pop Guys, that guy's sequel, Superman Back on Power.
It's good.
Dude,
But I
awesome.
kind of felt this though when you watch the film, and a lot of these films have this problem. Yeah, I know that for Death of Superman, the film itself, the storyline has been adapted into a movie. They also adapted for the first DC original film, Superman Doomsday.
It sucked. It was
Yeah.
bad.
Remember that film?
Yeah, I remember. It was not that good.
I don't know. I only watched it once. I don't think it's something I would
that
watch.
film is the first 20 minutes.
I watched.
Yeah,
I watched
but you
the
got
first
about
movie a long
that
time
film.
ago on
The first,
Netflix.
like the first half of the film is amazing. Like straight up great. Staying very death of Superman. Then the second half does what the heck it wants.
Second
The
half
only
goes
thing
down real
that's quite
fast.
stupid about the film is that they cut out the jail lie. I thought that the jail lie.
Oh yeah, Joe. They never made an appearance in the Iron movie. Only Jessica made the movie.
Did
Which
it make an
makes
appearance
sense.
in the recent film? Did Superman the movie?
Yeah,
What?
Jessica made an appearance in the recent movie, but not the jail.
Well, I'm talking about the line from that they had an appearance in the movie.
The lineup, it was the main 7. You had Hawkman, you had Martian Manhunter, you had Cyborg,
Cyborg.
Aquaman, Wonder Woman, Batman, and of course they all got their butts kicked. Pretty
Yeah,
much.
which makes sense.
Yeah,
But
because in the original storyline, Wonder Woman was absent. She didn't even fought Doomsday in the original storyline.
Oh,
And you're the
yeah.
Captain Marvel.
Well, hence the key word, adaption.
Yeah. It's been. They're talking about New 52 continuity, but with the
Yeah.
Superman movie.
But one of the best highlights of the original story of Superman who fought Doomsday was Blue Beetle. Basically, even though he got the crap beaten out of him by Doomsday, at least he stood up to him and basically, even though he actually managed to survive a Doomsday more than like a minute. I think his fight with Doomsday lasted about a good like 10 pages.
See, I don't know why Ted Cord would do that because he's just a regular human.
Yeah,
Like that,
Ted Cord was
Yeah.
a chance. Oh,
But
speaking
here's
of-
kind of the thing.
Oh.
Batman has fought Doomsday once, and he barely
Yeah.
survived.
Which I'm fine with.
He's
because
fought
that makes
Bane
sense.
and survived too. But the thing is, Superman has fought Bane too, but never in the comics. Superman fought Bane in the animated series.
That was funny.
And it was the shortest fight I've ever seen.
Speaking of Teenage
Yeah,
Mutant
a
Ninja
guy
Turtles,
who could barely, who's basically equal footing with Batman, and yet he can't survive a fight with freaking Superman.
makes sense. Superman's super strength. Bane, he attacks us and yeah, but not that power. Oh, speaking of Superman adapting from a movie, a piece of Dude Darn Metal. This event will be epic at that, but to the soundtrack that been released, it will be amazing.
I don't know.
It probably
Not
would.
yet.
Yeah, I say give
Adapt
it.
it now to the recent, very too recent. But yet
Give
they
it time.
adapted Origin. They adapted Origin just like War, but at least they waited more than a year. I
Yeah,
think that
what
came out. What was it,
sucked?
about 2? How long ago the War came out? Like what was it, like 2015, 2014 came out?
2014.
Right? 3 years in New 52.
Yeah, it was roughly like about they concluded. That's when they adapted it, but at least they waited more than a year. If you look at something like The Death of Superman, and at least that recently they waited over 20 years after the storyline came up before they adapted it again. I think that Hush came out. What was it, like 2003 came out?
Or-
Hush.
The Hush story, I think that came
Yeah.
out like what 04, I think. Let me see.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm let you know movies.
Oh, it came out between 2002 and 2003.
You fuck your
That's the weird thing about this storyline. I don't know if you noticed this. This is the only set of issues that Jeff Loeb ever did for Batman because after he left, Brian Azzarello took over the book.
Did Brian Azzarello hate Superman? Oh wait, he was Wonder Woman.
No, that was Warren Superheroes, and yet he wrote Moon Knight.
Ow.
But he's also wrote The Punisher.
Punisher was good. Oh, speaking of the OTT movie, I keep saying to the day I die, I keep saying this. Wait, if we could get Super Sons, here's my advice. Bring in John Johnson becoming Superboy, and I'll be happy. Then problem solved.
We're gonna have to wait on a storyline where
Yeah, we're definitely gonna have to wait a long time for that. I mean,
Yeah.
they could do like they could do the Kid Amazo storyline, but yeah, we're gonna have to wait like a long time for that to happen.
They're gonna have to figure
I
out a
have
way
a
to
feeling
somehow
the Super
introduce
Sons,
it
if they do the
because
movie, it'd be 2020.
Superman and Lois in those films are not together because
Actually, they are
in
together.
these connected films, last I saw, Superman was with Wonder Woman.
Actually, fun fact about that, in Superman, they fixed that. They basically explained it. It actually made sense. And it actually worked. They got with the Wonder
Well, they
Woman
break
is
up?
gone. Yep.
They
Wonder
broke
Woman
it.
is gone. Problem solved.
Well, see you later.
my man's dead.
Bye,
It's time to
Felicia.
move on.
Bye, Felicia.
Yeah.
Yep. And I'm sure
One character who's appeared in these movies, yeah, he hasn't appeared since the first film. Steve Trevor. Where the heck is he?
The last time we saw Steve Trevor was
He's
in
been
Throne of
cut.
Atlantis.
Yeah, former Atlantis, and that's it.
I remember in Gods and Monsters where Lex Luthor's like, Trevor, you ass.
Yeah, that was funny. I heard about
Yeah.
that movie.
You guys ever wonder what happened to him in Injustice Gods Among Us universe?
Oh, I would love to watch an Injustice Elseworld kind of movie. That would be such a great movie.
That would be
You know what happened to
insane.
the one from the Injustice universe? You know what happened to him?
Just watch the cutscenes from the game. It's pretty much a movie like Injustice.
True.
No, I'm talking about
Mhm.
Trevor. Do you know what happened to him in the Regime universe?
He died.
Most likely.
Yeah, he got killed by Wonder Woman.
Majority of the
Who
heroes.
hasn't been killed by Wonder Woman?
Yeah, that's true. Well,
Everyone's
Conor
dying
Kent's
in
still alive.
Injustice. It's Injustice.
Conor Kent's still alive. He's not dead.
Wait, Steve is dead in the Injustice universe?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Wonder Woman
he's
killed him.
dead. Wonder Woman killed him with her
Nazi
lasso
spy.
truth.
So Diana kills her lover boy just to move on with Soups.
No,
How?
no. About
Wonder
that.
Woman is the worst character in that universe.
The reason why she did it is because she was a Nazi spy.
Diana really. If anything, we could say characters who lost their way in that universe. Superman is definitely at the top, but no, Wonder Woman is straight up at the top of that.
Yeah, second
Oh,
in
yeah.
command.
She
Agreed.
cannot be redeemed.
Like,
You know,
it
for the
took the
shared
good Wonder Woman,
universe
you know,
films,
the stuff.
the one villain who has not made appearance yet, but I know Lex has appeared, but Joker has not shown up yet.
Joker's
You notice
smart.
that?
Here's the
I am
thing,
amazed Joker has not shown up in these animated movies. in this
because
universe.
they know.
Wait, technically he did. Son of Batman, you hear him cackling, you see his silhouette.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
just a little
that's it.
cameo. But the thing is, if you try to put
Yeah.
Joker in a movie like that, I feel like it will be hard to like make an adaptation to him because you have to stick to the material when writing Joker. You can't just make him like a throwaway villain.
If you want to take a where they hack from more than 2 sources, was Batman Bad Blood.
Batman Blood combined 3 stories. Combined with the Batman Incorporated.
It combined several stories. It combined the negative elements from Batman and Son. They adapt the origin story for Batman with Batmanology.
Batman.
Oh, they adapted a bunch. They adapted, like, I heard from one people I subscribe to, they adapted from 6 different stories for that film.
But they
Six.
blew up Mad Hatter's head, which is
6? Holy shit, that's way too much.
6 stories? Sheesh.
Into one movie? That's a clusterfuck.
Yeah. Probably the most bizarre thing about these films is why in the world do they keep coming off the Batman villains in these movies? I mean, in this film, at Hatter,
They
the
killed all of them.
calculator.
that Mad Hatter scene was fucking hilarious.
It was,
They killed them all.
yes,
For the fact it was Alfred who killed the calculator because the guy is ex-military. With them doing that.
Yeah, it makes sense. I'm fine with Alfred joining that. He ex-CIA. No,
One thing that confused me about Bad Blood.
MI6.
One thing that confused me
Yeah.
about Bad Blood was the way they handled.
We have Batgirl show up in her just for the credits. So we have Batgirl show up.
Yeah, I don't know what they're gonna do with her, but like with Bad Blood, one thing that confused me is when they made Talia kind of a villain. Like, wasn't she pretty much just trying to save her son in that in like Son of Batman? Like, what the hell happened with that?
Yeah, I get that.
Yeah, for Son of Batman, they made her a damsel in distress, and for some reason, they made pussies.
Wait,
They
what?
made-
They,
What?
they all got massacred by Deathstroke's troops for some reason.
Oh,
Even
yeah,
though in the Deathstroke, he's never had troops at all, and yet somehow in this movie he had troops, which is weird.
Yeah, I get that. Then Son of Batman, we were saying.
Deathstroke sucked in Son of Batman. The voice acting was terrible. Like that dude, like the guy they replaced in the Judas Contract was awesome, but like the voice of Deathstroke, he's like, "Oh, hello there, Damien." I'm like, this isn't Slade. Slade should sound badass. Like this guy.
Yeah, like, this should be the win.
But the one thing I'm kind of glad the film didn't apply later on in the comics. Oh boy, do you know what Deathstroke did before Judas Contract?
He dipped himself in a Lazarus pit, of course.
Yeah.
No, not
Oh,
that.
yeah.
The comic.
Oh
not
yeah.
the film.
Oh yeah. Secretary. Not kind of shit.
Yeah, it's heavily implied he had.
His mic is going in and out again.
Damn
I'm
it.
assuming he's talking about him doing it with Tara.
Yeah, Tara.
I think she's supposed to be about 14, 15 years old.
Oh, Tara.
And Deathstroke is a guy in his 50s.
Yeah, that
Man, this was creepy.
I mean, we know what they did with each other. They discussed. People who reviewed the Judas Contract know about it. They know about how sick and deadly and how
Messed up.
yes, how
Yeah, I'm
effed up it
surprised
is.
hers was statutory rape.
Tara it was a psychopath in the comics and the anime movie. The one Tara got the initial demo in the anime series.
So, from what I've heard, Tivia, about the one that appeared in Judas Contract, it's a mixture of the one from the actual storyline and the one from the Teen Titans animated series. A mixture.
Why combine both versions just to do one version? Do your demo Tara or do a demo Tara. You can't have it both ways.
Yeah. And about the brother blood from this movie. He's a lot more interesting than his comic counterpart.
Yeah, the comic cover.
Oh, he's hilarious in the movie. He's like,
Like,
oh,
I love his
me.
But Marv Wolfman made him the most boringest villain of his entire run. Boring. I was so happy to hear that Joe went and killed him off in Outsiders.
I thought Butterfly killed off particularly in that series. Oh wait,
Yeah, he got killed off in Joe Winnick's Outsiders run.
Oh.
That's probably if I went from having him die.
Do you want to put a boy like by and
He gets killed by. Yeah, I thought it was weird they retconned something that Marv Wolfman did because Aaron Sorry said that the girl gave birth to a girl, and then when it retconned, oh yeah, it was a boy, and he became a new Brother Blood.
What? When does that happen? You know what? I don't want to know. I don't care.
Yeah.
Speaking of Brother Blood.
Basically, Tevye, you remember during Jeff Johns' Titans run, you remember that young Brother Blood, that kid version? That's basically what he's talking about.
Oh yeah, it did happen. That was weird. Speaking of Brother Blood, the one Brother Blood that I liked are two versions. One,
and
what did
this film,
two, what
they did a lot better job with Brother Blood. Yeah, praise about Brother Blood in this movie, aside from the fact he's more interesting. At least he blood like from a TV show, which is a freaking old man. And yet they thought the name Brother Blood wasn't creepy. And yet they couldn't allow Deathstroke to be called Deathstroke in the series. They call him Slade because he's too creepy for kids. And yet they think Brother Blood's okay.
I actually like Brother Blood in the anime series.
That
you
weird?
got more cyber villain. That's pretty cool.
I didn't like that. They made him too obsessed with Cyborg. I didn't like that much.
I find it made sense.
And plus, this Brother Blood, there's no Church of Blood in the whole series, and he doesn't dip himself in a bathtub full of blood. Luckily enough, just like the Teen Titans Judas Contract fixed that. Have him dip in a pool of blood.
Dude, it's a kid's show.
It's a kid show. It's called censorship for a reason.
I say part of that because here's the thing. In Teen Titans, Brother Blood are interesting in that show. In this movie, yeah, he's a cult leader. Yes, he don't have sides with a truck and all that crap. But personally, I kind of like Teen Titans.
Apparently, in this film, apparently he's the only Brother Blood, which is a little weird. So there's a long line of Brother Bloods. For the one that first showed up in the comic was the 8th Brother Blood. In the film, they say Brother Blood's immortal, even though he dies at the end of the film.
He died by his own henchwoman.
Yeah, he got his ass handed to him. It was pretty funny. All hail me.
Yep.
I mean, he cracked me up.
Killed his own henchwoman. I think that's Adeline Kane, Deathstroke's ex-wife.
I don't know, because that was Jericho at the end of the movie.
Yeah,
the post-credit scene, which I don't know if we're getting a follow-up on. Which I would have rather had that than like Justice League versus the Fatal Five or whatever it's going to be, because I wanted to know what they were doing
What
next.
Teen Titans Go would you adapt after Jew's contract?
You can do an original one or take elements from other storylines.
You can do Trigon.
One thing I didn't like about this universe's Nightwing, why do we have to have him wear having the red and blue? Original comic, even though he made his debut as Nightwing in the actual story, why couldn't it be blue and black?
That's why I wonder.
Why do you have to be red and blue?
Why are we going to red suit?
because people love the new 52 animation. They might as well like, you know what? Let's just make them the red.
Yeah, pretty much.
They gave them both. Whatever. It's just a slight coloration. It doesn't look awful. It's not like they're putting nipples on the bat suit or anything like that.
Yeah. For the sequel was that if he knows in Justice League versus Teen Titans, there was implied, let's say, apply attraction between Damian and Raven, and then by this film, it's not there.
They have the moment at the end of the movie because like,
they're so Titus.
Yeah, she gives him Titus. So
yeah, cute. Oh, that's what Don Troy finally at the end of the movie. Took them like.
Yeah, I'm glad she showed up in these movies. About freaking time. But yeah, they don't like. Probably the most bizarre thing about that scene was the Kevin Smith cameo.
How's that crazy? I found that interesting.
I enjoyed the Kevin Smith cameo. It's like, oh,
think of he's having a cameo in a DC film. Is he trying to copy Stan Lee?
It's not
Stan Lee appears in DC films too.
Probably not.
I heard he's gonna make appear in another one, but the first time he appeared outside of a Marvel project was when he appeared in a cameo in the episode when they had Dan Turpin's funeral. They had to make a cameo in the episode when they had Dan Turpin's funeral in Superman animated series.
He's in Teen Titans Go to the Movies, and it's a great cameo. It's probably my favorite Stan Lee cameo now.
I have not watched that movie because I refuse to watch NC Down Go crap.
I've heard him say. I didn't read this. Apparently, someone said. Apparently, one of his favorite cameos he's ever done in Marvel movies was the one he did for Winter Soldier.
Oh, about Deadpool. Huh.
Tevia,
Yeah.
I know you have ish with the Teen Titans Go movie, but hearing all the positive attitude about it, and
Yeah,
I think
that is true. I did hear the part out there. It was good.
I have
Tevia, at least give the movie a shot
because I don't care for Teen Titans Go. It's not for me. It's for kids. So I'll pass on it.
I'm seeing it because
I saw it. I did a video on my channel. It's actually pretty funny. Like there's like the final line in the movie. I don't know if you guys ever seen the movie Clue, but like this movie has my favorite.
I've seen Clue. I love Clue. I have it on DVD.
Okay, that line where he's like, "I'm gonna go home and sleep with my wife." This movie has a line. The final line in Teen Titans Go to the Movies is my favorite final line in a movie since that line in Clue. Do you guys care if I spoil it or no?
Is it about that actual end credit?
No, it's not the mid-credit scene. It's right before the credits roll out. Robin's trying to give this big speech about something, and they're all like yelling credits, credits, credits. And Robin immediately, like they're trying to cut off the movie, and he stops like, wait, kids, ask your parents where babies come from. Cut to credits. I lost it laughing so. And I laughed so hard because the parents of the theater were just like, they were in complete state of shock, and my friend and I were laughing so hard. I'm like, oh, that's going to be quite the conversation.
Yeah, that was funny.
Yes, it will be.
I can't believe they put that in a kid's movie.
No, this movie is dark as hell. Like, surprisingly, they have to go back in time to stop like the superhero origins. So they like saved, Bruce Wayne and that. Then they like go back to the present time and realize that the whole future is screwed. So they have to go back and fix the mistake that they made. They literally put the pearls on Martha Wayne and shove her into Crime Alley. And she gets
Oh no!
What the hell?
No!
Oh, there's so much great stuff.
I saw in theaters was Ant-Man the Wasp.
Yeah,
Same here.
Good. Same. That was fun.
I thought the film was absolutely amazing. I really enjoyed it.
I thought it was okay.
Okay,
A significant up than Ant-Man from forgot what year it came out.
2015.
Yeah, it was way
I saw it in
better.
theaters.
Okay.
This film still had the same level of humor. It had some new jokes. I love the whole stuff with the ants, the giant-sized ants.
That was funny.
I thought it was so funny. Cassie Lang is so adorable, like she was in the previous movie, though. I'm glad the fact they have her age. They look like she's aged as the previous movie. That in this film, she actually has a scene with Hope Van Dyne.
Yeah, that was great.
Something she.
Okay,
and
so
basically it's implied to look like they're in a drive-through, but when they pull the thing back, she's in a shrunken car and they're watching the thing on a laptop.
Yeah, that was great. That was awesome.
okay, so we talked about DC comics, DC animated movies. Let's jump to video games. I feel like that's.
What video game? Don't you video coming out except for Lego Batman?
I mean, okay.
No, not Lego Batman. Shit, Lego Superstars.
There's
Yeah.
only Injustice.
Wait,
the
there
rumored
is. I
Superman
did hear
game.
that they are coming out a new Batman Arkham game.
Please no.
Yes. Another
Please,
Batman? No.
Just stop. I'm done
Yeah,
with Batman. Look,
They are coming with
Batman.
another one.
You
I
destroyed
saw a
it
trailer
last
for.
night.
Apparently, it's going to take place between Origins and the original game. Where they say it's going to be 3 years after Origins because Origins is set 5 years before. So this one's going to be another in between one, and this one's going to have a lot of classic villains pop up in the game. A lot of them.
Stop.
Can we just stop?
Can
Like,
we please stop it, Batman? Look at Superman.
No,
What
I
are
want a
you doing?
Superman game. I'll take another Arkham game. The Arkham series is great. I'd rather have good Batman games than no Batman games at all.
I'd rather
Yeah.
put
I
Batman
think so far
in
the
Justice
worst
League
Batman
and call
game
it a
aside
day.
from Batman
Yeah.
Begins is Batman VR.
That game sucks.
VR.
Yeah, apparently
VR.
it's a-
You said that's
Why
the
they
only
retcon
Batman
Arkham
game?
Knight?
No, there's more.
usually
There's
disagree.
more. There's more.
Oh, man, the first time when you're in that John. Huh. That's not a bad idea.
But yeah, we do need a good Superman game. Like if
Yeah.
Rocksteady, I heard was making one, then I heard they're not. I don't know.
I
Rocksteady.
I
Still
heard.
got PTSD from 64.
Yeah,
Superman.
Fly through the rings.
Like I did hear a rumor that basically Rockstar Wings Mr. Superman didn't E3. That didn't happen. Was that no doubt? Maybe they, you. I would rumor a Superman, but nope.
I'm not surprised that happened because
Well, in the Batman Arkham games, the Batman villains appear in the series. They've had Solomon Grundy, who is not a Batman villain, yet people think he's a Batman villain even though he isn't.
And that's not a great one about a villain.
Grundy started out as a
Solomon Grundy is
golden age.
Alan Scott Green Lantern.
Mhm.
Oh.
Yeah, he's
Didn't he appear
going to be
in
the Golden Age
two?
Green Lantern. And yet people commonly mistake him for being a Batman villain
Because
because
he's
apparently
mostly
no
in
one could give a
Batman.
damn
That's
about
the
him.
problem.
Just like how people commonly mistake Kingpin for being just a Daredevil villain, even though he's also a Spider-Man villain and a Punisher villain. He's also fought Captain America and Black Panther.
Not Spider-Man that anymore, but then the Kingpin not been used by me recently since Sword bullshit. Dang it, Sword's gone. Thank God, it didn't expect it.
Yeah. One thing I thought was interesting, I saw this in a DLC walkthrough. Apparently, Iron Heights exists in the Arkhamverse, except it's a blimp.
Yep.
That's hilarious. What?
Yep.
I have no idea why they turned possibly by far one of the most definitive prisons in DC Comics,
The blimp.
which is a prison that's normally kept in Flash Comics, and yet they made it a blimp, and it crashes in Gotham Harbor.
In Arkham Knight, that was great. That was funny. That was awesome. And like in that DLC, you can put Nightwing in that DLC in the Kill Clock DLC.
And though they've had other non-Batman characters pop up in the Arkham games, they confirmed this with Batman Saw and Suicide Squad, Saw Arkham, which is Suicide Squad film, a debut in this universe of Killer Frost, King Shark, Girth for some reason is really weird, Captain Boomerang. Trying to think, was it Deadshot Army's first appearance in
Arkham
Arkham Origins?
City.
Yeah, but
Arkham City may fit the but then Arkham Origins they brought him back.
yeah, but no one can deny the most hilarious scene of Saw in Arkham is when Deadshot and Harley Quinn do it.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, that was funny.
That's
It's still not as crazy
Yeah,
when
where
she
he's
does
about
it with
to go to
Nightwing.
bed, and there's Harley in bed, butt naked for no reason, and then she's like, "Really want to do it with them?" And she's like, "Oh, what the hell?"
Yeah,
he
that
just
was
does with
funny.
her anyway.
Sexy.
Hey,
Yeah.
that's not as much
I mean,
as
he's like,
the
he's not
Harley
thinking.
Quinn movie.
I'm
That's
thinking,
true.
no, dude, I have a smoking hot woman who wants to do it with you, and it takes you a few minutes to realize, though, yeah, I should do it anyways.
Yep.
Well, let's not say the creepiest thing that she did in that movie. What did she bite someone's ear or finger off?
Yeah, that happened
No,
in the Son
but-
of Arkham.
Yeah, and then I thought it was weird. Oh yeah, they also had Waller show up in the film. Though she kind of made her first appearance in Arkham Origins.
It makes sense.
Kind of, but Deathstroke wasn't in that movie.
So one thing, people who cast this film, I think that they actually have the actress who plays her in the film. It's the same from Just Like Unlimited.
Which
Yeah,
I love that. That was awesome to have at the voice in that movie. Too much she didn't come out at the in Hell to Pay with that new enemy. We know it. Fine. Give me this.
Okay, so
Yeah,
when it comes to DC
But
video
at
games,
least they come back in the Arkham Knight comic book until he got killed out by Deadshot. And he said, oh yeah, he killed him because he was annoying and he very rarely showered.
Wait, what? Who got killed off?
Captain Boomerang in the Batman Arkham Knight comic book.
man, that doesn't bother me.
Yeah, but the one thing the
whatever.
game never bothers to acknowledge, the death of Bane.
Oh yeah, it did have in that prequel comic. Yeah, the Arkham comics are weird and all over the place. So
Yeah.
ignore them.
He gets killed by Jason Todd, a.k.a. Arkham Knight, and then he incinerates his body.
Yep.
And yet the game never brings up the fact that Bane is dead. Probably the only game in the whole series that appearance in. You know, he's referenced. We don't fight him. He's referenced. You don't see him. At least in the case of Arkham City, the fact that you don't fight Art Bane, at least he shows up.
I wish the Arkham Knight gets to meet the Freeze in DLC. That's pretty cool. But that ending with the Freeze was very, very great.
That was a good ending. That was a really good ending to the side mission.
That they did do for Arkham Origins. Get this. Guess who wrote that DLC for Arkham Origins that featured the origin of Mr. Freeze?
Paul Dini,
Paul Dini.
Yeah, it was Paul Dini.
not surprised.
It was him.
And that's about it. You have to make the character after great.
I know that origin story, which became canon for years. I heard it won a Hugo Award.
It did. But then New 52, I may ruin that origin and get rid of that crap, but then they fixed it. Thank God. The New 52 origin is just garbage. Speaking of video games, now mind me. But besides the Lego DC villain stuff, any other DC game coming out? Because I know Title Batman that ended with Men Sense.
No, that's it. The only new DC game that's coming out is Lego DC Supervillains, which looks really. That's a really brilliant idea because that's a really brilliant idea to do like an all supervillains video game. I saw the roster. The roster looks excellent.
Yeah,
like,
it's got the Crime Syndicate.
and plus the voice casting.
The Injustice comic ending.
Injustice
The Injustice 2. The Injustice 2 comic. It's an ending.
I'm not surprised about that because look, that particular comic need to end, and it comes with the game. So at this point, let it end. Or it's gonna end its own terms.
I heard that it's going to lead directly into the game itself.
Which makes sense because of the prequel comic. It only had one destination. But how did they end that series? Because they'll have a lot of depth in that book.
I do.
Yeah, they kill off a lot of people.
I remember finding this video on YouTube that there was a Flash video game in development, but they never let it happen.
Damn it. That sucked. Because I really want a Wild West Flash game.
Yeah, I wish they did do a Flash video game though. That would have been nice.
Give me Wild West.
I think there's been a Green Lantern game.
Yeah, that
It
once.
was awful. That
was based on
game.
that's like
Yeah,
the
it's
only
based on a shitty movie.
average
So.
thing.
It was still a fun
sucked.
game. Though. It was a fun game. I loved it.
Yeah, it was an average game, but that was the only good thing about Green Lantern.
Yeah,
No denying when it comes to that film, Ryan Reynolds was the best thing about that film.
Mark Strong.
Mark Strong directing that movie.
You know, can you imagine what the world would be like today if the Green Lantern movie was good and successful?
No,
Like-
Deadpool.
No Deadpool. We wouldn't have those R-rated. Like, it would change this. We wouldn't have Logan because there'd be no Deadpool movie. The DC extended universe probably wouldn't exist. We probably wouldn't have gotten Man of Steel the way it was. It would have been.
Actually, fun fact: the Green Lantern was what started the DCU. There was no plan with that plan, but
Yeah.
Well, they erased it. So,
Yeah.
like, I'm just saying, like, if that movie was well received, made a ton of money, and was like generally well liked, the whole landscape of the superhero industry would be different.
Right.
Yeah. Most people probably agree that the biggest thing that people didn't like about the film was Parallax.
Yeah,
I
he
didn't-
just looks.
they
He looks like
wasted
garbage.
Parallax. They made it a big crowd like Galactus was.
Yeah, a
Wait,
big
wait, wait.
brown CGI cloud.
I think the biggest problem was Mark
Wow.
Guggenheim wrote the movie.
Didn't that happen just a few
Yeah,
years
wait,
prior
wait,
with
wait,
Fantastic
wait, wait,
Four:
wait,
Rise of
wait,
Silver
wait.
Surfer?
Nick, wait. Did you want
Okay.
who wrote the movie?
Mark Guggenheim, who single-handedly helped destroy Arrow by pandering to Olicity fans.
Isn't he the guy that's making Titans?
No, that's Greg Berlanti. Greg Berlanti has been successful at launching shows. And Titans, I gotta wait to. I already got the streaming service, so I'm sure it'll be much better than the trailer. Because it's like a lot of movies I've seen, like for instance, Pixar movies. The trailers for the movies are usually quite terrible, but the movies are pretty good. So, like Titans, I'm sure, like the trailer, it's obviously not causing the best
Yeah, I
reaction.
highly doubt they're gonna allow Robin to drop an F-bomb. And why is Dick Grayson and Robin in this series?
Why is he killing people?
He's not. He didn't kill him. Like he fires the gun in the air. Like he never killed him.
Thank you.
That confused
But it
that
looks like he
part.
killed a few people by snapping their necks with his
Yeah.
foot.
No, he
Yeah.
just stomped their
He
jaw.
did
He
not
doesn't kill
kill
him.
people. First of all, those gunshots were warning shots. That's what made them fall to the ground. He didn't shoot them. They just dropped to the floor.
I thought he did
Yeah,
shot them.
people tend to talk about the most controversial thing about the whole trailer at Batman.
With that, I don't get that at all.
Well, I mean,
I laughed
Dick
at
Grayson,
that.
that line is so funny. Like, I mean, it's become like a huge thing on the internet. Like the thing with the trailer though is like Dick Grayson was pretty pissed off when he originally like left Batman at one point. You know what I mean? Like he was sick of him.
But he wasn't just bloodthirsty or just angry or pissed off like the Robin out.
That's true, but like he's saying he's not saying that as Dick, he's saying that as Robin. Like he's with criminals right in front of him. Like he's trying to be tough and intimidating. Fuck Batman.
It really doesn't sound like it. Just sounds edgy.
Yeah, that's a visual idea. It's for Nightwing. It's what you do with Jason Todd. Speaking of Judge. Speaking of show, actually we forgot. Young Justice. Let's get anything on Justice. A good show.
I need to rewatch seasons 1 and 2, but it's going to be great. I'm sure.
That trailer looks epic. Like Biscuit, Colin is at the in that show.
I know, it's great. I'm really glad to see him. Like shit. I'm still waiting to see him come back in the comics, but oh well, I'll take him.
Yeah, it's awesome. Like Young Justice is amazing. I love that show. I'm sure he's coming back to right after 2019. But you know what? Fuck it. At this point, and I can wait.
Wait, but going back on the topic of DC video games, since we can't name any ones that are coming back, do you guys have any ideas that could potentially be a video game? Like any team, any character?
I do. Metal.
The problem with Metal is there's a lot of continuity that you have to already be aware of before you do something like that.
Okay, can you Metal? Fine. Super Sense.
Also, a problem with that is you need to establish Superman and Batman.
I just love how Rebellion's just pulling out all the different problems with that. Like, there's a problem with that.
Captain Marvel.
All right, I can dig with that.
Same. But because he had no movie yet, fine, so maybe I don't Captain Marvel. He needs a movie, not movie, shit. He needs no game.
Or make something random, like pick a random character, like The Question, and put like some detective game or something in like the same as like LA Noire.
Would work as a Telltale game. That would definitely work.
Yeah. Remember, because we have Fables for Telltale, and that's Wolf Among Us, which we're gonna have Wolf Among Us 2. I think it's coming out next year, 2020. I forget. I don't really sure that game. I haven't looked for that game. It was awesome. Okay.
I would love to see another Justice League related game. I mean, outside of the Lego games, of course, but like another Justice League game would be fun.
Or do Justice League Dark, or do Wonder Woman, or do like I don't know, like do JSA.
If you want to do a Wonder Woman game, I would say make that game a hack and slash. Cause
make Wonder Woman like God of War.
Yes, there you go.
What? If you want to go baldy, do shit. Do Teen Titans or Titans, or do Young Justice.
They tried. They
tried.
had
They
a
failed.
Yeah.
That
They had a
one,
game
Yeah, there
which
is
was
a
supposed to tie in
like
season 1 and 2, but didn't work.
on the
it sucked.
I actually still have it. It's not great, but I have fun playing it.
Then they left that game out the door because reasons.
See, that's why I don't like it when games are rushed. It hurts
Same.
it hurts them really bad.
Same.
Or okay. If what other games could work?
Legion of Superheroes, making it into an RPG.
That could work. Good idea, Biscuit.
A Legion of Superheroes game.
You can make it into an RPG. Just you become a member of the Legion of Superheroes, and I don't know where you can take it from there, but
That could work. That could work.
Or if we can't do Super Son, if we can't do Superman we can't do Batman or do Superman at this point, and Batman. Call me crazy or call me insane, but why not do the GSA?
Problem. Continuity.
Shit. Okay.
Yeah, the only way you can do JSA is if you set them in World War II.
Shit.
probably.
Yeah,
Green
man.
Lantern? Try to make Green Lantern kind of like Mass Effect in a way.
I would personally money to do that if Bioware could get EA Shadow.
Well, no, it doesn't have to be Bioware, but you can make a Green Lantern game that's kind of in the same vein as Mass Effect.
That's not bad.
I think there's been an Aquaman game.
You know
There
what?
has, and it sucked.
Yeah.
We should do a New Gods game.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
I agree with that one.
that could work.
That
That
could
could work.
Or a Suicide Squad game. That could be
Yeah, that one.
I think they were planned to shoot this squad game, and that got canceled.
I think with a Suicide Squad game, that should be like a first-person shooter.
Or a third-person shooter. We should third-person and fourth.
So Deadshot shoots his gun,
Like,
Harley
if
shoots
they're
his
gonna
gun.
make
What does
a,
Killer Croc do?
Suicide Squad?
Yeah.
What about basing it on the idea, the similar thing it did with Marvel Ultimate Alliance?
Oh, that could work too.
That would seem like a ripoff, though.
Yeah, it would be a ripoff, but well, technically, that would be hard to do because you have the teenagers, you have the Teen Titans, you have the Justice League.
You have Justice, you have Super Sons, yeah.
While as Ultimate Alliance, you basically just have every hero in the Marvel universe in one team, basically. So
Actually, that could work. We could copy Ultimate Alliance with a DC, have all DC cover every for all the universe, and you got a bunch of big threat. And then who made really good people for DC Open Alliance game?
Darkseid.
Brainiac.
Darkseid.
There's so many people I can think of right now.
You just think of the big heavy hitters that they use in events. Darkseid, Brainiac, Anti-Monitor. Just
The Batman Who Laughs.
oh yeah, you could use the Dark Knights.
You know, Evil Dark Knight of Metal.
Save that for like an expansion or like DLC.
Oh yeah. That would
Yeah.
that would be a perfect DLC, man. DLC.
Combine Metal, but beautifully with all the craziness of Metal, and it would be epic.
Do you know what's a video game? Flashpoint.
A problem.
To kickstart like a video game universe? Maybe?
Also,
I mean, you can turn the entire comic into a video game because it's so interesting to do.
I don't think that's a good idea because we already had enough Flashpoint. We had a movie, we have a TV show.
And they're planning on making it a live action movie too.
Which is a horrible idea, in my opinion. We don't need Flashpoint in the live action movie. Stop adapting Flashpoint. We get it. It's like a stupid.
Well, no, they're doing that so they can reboot the DCU.
I heard they're done with the Flashpoint movie.
Yeah, they're not gonna do that anymore.
That's out the window.
For that.
Which I'm fine with, by the way.
Yeah, the Flash movie is part of fault that DC, Warner Brothers seems like they don't know what to do with it because we have people coming and going. I think the film has gone through leaders. We had several actors come and go. The only thing is the actor who plays Flash. Aquaman, they actually knew what they were doing, and same thing with Shazam. They knew what they're doing, and the film was actually it was made and it came out.
Justice League was just too many cooks in the kitchen. BVS backlash. Zack Snyder's plan, which apparently was a 5-film arc. and just everything just going to hell. Like, I mean, like he wanted to do I feel like he only read The Dark Knight Returns and like Watchmen and like 300. Like he only read Elseworlds like graphic novels and just kind of standalone storylines like that, which later on were like retroactively linked to the DC universe in some form or another. Because like,
which, if you look at Ben Affleck's Batman, it's heavily inspired by Dark Knight Returns.
Except Batman and Batman v killed people, which did not happen Dark Knight Returns. I was Dark Knight Returns. I want my memory. And
I mean, he's not shown killing people in his first film. He's shown branding people, which is something he never did in the comics.
Or
I thought this was a good idea. He technically is now shown killing people first. Man. Not even in I think in
he blows a guy
Justice
up.
League, he's shown killing aliens, but he's never shown killing actual humans.
Aliens
so I have heard
count.
in the
Aliens don't count.
Yeah,
I've heard in the director's cut of Batman Superman, you actually hear that fight scene he has in that warehouse where he's rescuing Martha Kent.
He stabs a man in the butt.
Apparently, that scene was really heavily inspired by games where you actually hear in that scene. That's what I heard. They actually have bones cracking.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know why they cut that out for.
Like the ultimate cut, he throws him against the wall, and the guy's head like busts open and leaves a trail of blood against the wall. I mean, that's the best scene in the movie is where Batman just goes in that warehouse and fucking annihilates everybody. I'm like, I mean, I grew up with the Keaton Batman. I'll take this.
Yeah, I don't know if the film actually bothered to explain this. Like, okay, he's seen in his suit, and then next time he's seen, he's in the Batplane rescuing Martha Kent. Like, when did he take the time to go back to Batcave, take out the suit, and get the Batplane?
Or maybe he just ditched it.
Maybe most of his suit's underneath it.
Probably, bro.
Yeah. I gotta at least praise the film for actually having a really good Batmobile. It's probably by far the best Batmobile in live action so far.
Yeah, I mean it's kind of like the Arkham Knight Batmobile. I like the design of the '89 one. I think that one's classic.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
But like,
but the Batplane, this is the first time it's appeared in actual live action since Batman Forever.
What's up?
Yeah, sorry to but Dougie says, "Pardon, the Super Pet movie being announced." Wait, what? There's Super Pet movie being announced? When did that happen?
Super Pets?
Oh yeah, I saw that just a little bit ago. Like apparently, the people who made the Lego movie are going to work on a Super Pets movie. So it's going to be like Crypto and Ace.
Oh,
so okay. Probably for like Warner Brothers Animation, like they'll release like they do their like movie Small Photo to the Lego Ninjago or something like that.
Oh, that would be cute.
Okay, I have two options for that.
Super Sons tie-ins.
Super Sun tie-in. Do that. The tie-in Super Sun are awesome and fun, but they're adorable.
You know what? Maybe like a theatrical like Super Sons like animated movie, just kind of set like that. Like if marketed very well, could do really well for DC.
Yeah, that'd be amazing. Like
I don't know if you guys heard this when it came to KGB, who appeared in the movie. Court paid more royalties for that than when Marvel paid them for when they used Thanos, Gamora, and Drax.
Yeah, I heard it's, like paid a lot more money. And they was like, "Yeah, I'll actually have to see the movie now."
Yeah, and for the version of KGB, he was a bit weird. I'm like, why couldn't they go with the comic version? This one is very weird, and you couldn't even tell it really was him until you look at the credits.
That dude was such a like. Honestly, he's the best villain in the movie because he has like no redeeming qualities as a human being. He's just the worst pile of scum imaginable. It's the most satisfying part in the movie where Batman blows him up. Like nobody ever talks about like how big a piece of shit this guy is. Like he's pushing people into the way of trains. He's a child trafficker. He's he murders plenty of people. He drops bombs. He sets people on fire. I mean, this guy is the living definition of piece of shit. And then when Batman like just blows him up, it's it's pretty great. Like he legitimately
it's overlooked because of Lex freaking Luthor and
Lex Luthor
quote Doomsday.
If Jesse Eisenberg played the Riddler and they tweaked some of his plan a bit, I'd buy it.
Same.
If he was the Riddler, I'd buy it. I'd buy the whole thing where he's kind of kooky, crazy, and like leaving puzzle. Like he nails the mannerisms of the Riddler, not Lex Luthor. But it's Lex Luthor Jr.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. So I did hear that there was a fan casting, at least somebody basically put out this bogus story that apparently, what was his name? The guy who's to start Brian Cranston. People really wanted him to play Lex because he's bald.
He's a good actor, but he would do a good job in the role.
I agree.
Yeah, and there was this really stupid story I heard a few years ago where they say that Ben Affleck's Batman is really Deathstroke, and at the end of the movie, Christian Bale was going to show up be the real Batman.
Oh my god! I hate those rumors. All bullshit. Forget the rumors.
You know, I'm surprised.
Yeah, when I heard about this, I'm like, yeah, this was bullcrap. This was completely untrue.
I wish that Snyder would have cast Jackie O'Haley as Lex Luthor, since he was easily the best part about Watchmen.
Yep.
Not that man.
Well, everyone did
praise,
right, except
the guy who
for
plays Deathstroke in the Justice League. At least he looks like Deathstroke. He acts like him too, and I love the suit.
No, the suit's great. Like that shot of Deathstroke, like that part's great. Like I'm waiting for that solo Deathstroke movie directed by the guy who made the Raid movies.
Here's my problem. Why is DC putting all these films out and just leaving them in development? Like they just announce these things and they don't start working on them. And they had these.
Yeah, there was one for Batgirl. I heard that the Nightwing movie has been canceled.
They're gonna make a Joker movie.
2 Joker movies.
2 Joker movies. Yeah, I think it was good.
They got a new leadership.
Because,
that's why they didn't announce anything at Comic-Con, because Walter Hamada is like...
The reason why they're doing 2 Joker movies, because Jared Leto got upset the fact, oh yeah, you're doing a Joker movie, but without me. So they gave him his own Joker movie.
Jared Leto's an asshole.
Stop. Please. We don't need a Joker movie. No one wants a Joker movie. It's pointless.
Plus, based on what I've seen from Suicide Squad, I don't think we're missing much.
Yeah.
He was pretty terrible.
Yeah, but here's the thing about... I agree with his... basically what they did with him in Suicide Squad. I mean, I heard there was a lot more screen time he had in Suicide Squad. More like 11 minutes.
I'm surprised that he wasn't.
I heard he was there for good. Yeah, and instead they have it to Enchantress, who has technically never been a villain for Suicide Squad
Enchantress is
at
more
all.
of a
I've
You
read
mean
the
the belly
comics.
dancer?
Enchantress more generally dark villain than actual Suicide Squad villain. It doesn't work.
Yeah, and I'm not really sure. Now, David Ayer, the way he directed him, it looked good. I like the way he directed the film. David Ayer is a great director.
The problem is it got
I don't think that was the problem.
It got to be by trailer editors.
Yeah, like the action sequences weren't wowing me or anything like that. I mean, that's one thing I'll give Snyder credit. When he gets to like his action sequences, he's top notch on visuals and action.
No. David Ayer is a good director, but he got screwed over. You can tell that movie was cut to pieces.
Suicide Squad. Did anybody give a bad performance in Suicide Squad?
No,
Not really.
not really.
Maybe Cara Delevingne, but like she wasn't like as Enchantress. Like she's constantly belly dancing and like showing off her dance moves.
Rick Flag, that came out of nowhere.
Yeah. I didn't get that love story. I didn't care.
Killer
talking
Croc
about
was
Rick Flag.
amazing, but why in the world did they get King Shark? That was weird.
What in the what?
Huh?
They gave him traits to King Shark.
Well, they were gonna do King Shark, from what I heard, but like it was gonna be all motion capture, and he wanted to do something practical because David Ayer wasn't used to working with CGI like that. Which, you know what, that worked out fine for me because I mean, more people know who Killer Croc is anyway.
Exactly.
And King Shark.
Everyone would know who Killer Croc is instead of King Shark because no one. Put King Shark in the movie, like, who's that?
Did you guys know who created King Shark? Not King
No.
Shark, Killer Croc.
No.
Jerry Conway.
Nice.
Yep, he's the one who created them. And it's one of 2 characters in the movie that he created. The other, of course, was Slingshot, the guy whose special ability he was a good climber, who was
He
also the
died.
first guy killed off. in the movie.
I already knew from the jump he was getting killed off first. I immediately knew.
But the guy
Yeah,
was
he was by far the most disappointing character in the movie. He wasn't even in any of the trailers, really. Why in the world would you cast somebody who's Native American? Because Slipknot is a white guy, and he had the most badass interest in the comics where he tried to hang.
Well, like I said, you had to have that one throwaway character. And
like every Suicide Squad team.
Maybe
Maybe
it could happen the same thing we have on Legend of Tomorrow, but
Actually, example did it. Daniel West. he got killed off. Thank God for that. They didn't want to use this.
He got
Since
killed
we're on
off
the topic of
big
DC
explosion.
Since we're on the topic of DC films, how interested are you guys, or how much hope do you guys have for the Green Lantern Corps movie? I still don't think it should come out in 2020 because
It's not going to come out in 2020. There's no way.
It's going to get doing probably 2021. The only thing I'm looking forward to now are Captain Marvel, aka Shazam, aka Captain Marvel, Bird Jackson, and Aquaman.
Woman 1984.
And Woman 1984.
That's coming out next year as well.
Yep. I feel like the next
Aquaman's
three
coming out in
movies are in good
December.
hands.
Aquaman coming in December.
I love James Wan movies, so James Wan, he's got this in the bag.
Yeah, that was awesome. I'm looking forward to that one.
I think the last major movie he directed before he got Aquaman was, I think it was one of the Fast and Furious movies.
No, it was Conjuring 2, 2016.
Conjuring 2.
Which is a superior film to the first one, I think, especially like, you know, with the stuff with Ed and Lorraine. Patrick Wilson's like his go-to guy now.
Same. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but the thing with Patrick Wilson is, prior to this film, the last major comic book character he played before he played Ocean Master was
Night Owl.
Ozymandias.
No, he was Night Owl.
No, no.
Matthew Good was
Matthew Good.
Ozymandias.
The guy who plays Henry Allen, it's the guy.
Where's he been?
Oh no,
Night Owl?
Matthew Good was. Which one was? Wait, am I mixing them up?
I believe the other guy who's playing Ocean Master, he played Ozymandias. The guy who played Night Owl was a completely different guy.
No, because he played Night Owl too. Patrick Wilson played Night Owl and Ocean Master.
Uh-huh.
But
Which is weird.
okay. All right, since the Flashpoint movie is out the window, what do you guys want to see from a Flash movie though?
I say give Wally West Flash and give Wally West. Problem solved. Forget Barry Allen.
I feel
Make sure he knows how to run.
Barry Allen.
Yeah, in the case of Barry Allen, when I first saw him in the movie,
Wally West.
yeah, when I saw him in Justice League,
That's Barry.
man,
That's what
he
it
was
was.
annoying.
Yeah,
No, it's Barry.
No, I meant like his characteristics
I
were
wanna hear-
like Wally.
Yeah,
Or
his
very
characteristic
Wally,
is
but-
Wally.
Yeah.
Origin is Barry, so they fused them together.
Go.
I
Chloe.
hated it.
52 Wally.
Yeah. They combined Wally West and Barry Allen into one kid.
That was
Stop
weird.
making Barry to Wally. It doesn't work. Ugh.
Well, they kind of did it also for the Flash TV show as well.
It was a fun TV show that made sense and had fun of it.
The Flash TV show, like, God, man, the first season was so great. Then season 2 was good, and then it just went downhill. Like,
Season
The
2
Arrow
was,
effect.
I love season 2.
This
No,
was
I-
awesome.
season 2 was good. Season 3 is when it started to go downhill.
Season 3
4,
was Sabotage. It confused the hell out of me. You can wait.
Yeah,
Well,
if
you did
people
Flashpoint,
watch, like,
then you
can we not
do-
have a speedster villain? And then we have the start of season 4.
Sabotage
Like,
was
okay,
So he played it with the finger. I was fine with that. The finger was pretty cool.
Thinker was just all over the place. It's just they were making shit up as they went along. And then Iris West, my God. I hated every time the main romances in CW shows are all terrible. Every single one of them.
They have always been.
Yeah. it
Whenever
always been
they
that,
forces the main whenever somebody has legit chemistry, they throw them out the window for like, oh, we got to pander to the Tumblr crowd. It's just terrible. Look at Arrow with Olicity, which is like a
Fuck
cancer.
Arrow.
We don't talk about Olicity. Please, let's not talk
Yeah,
about it.
let's not talk about that train wreck.
It's a train wreck because when they have when Arrow can be like really good, it's really good. Like season 5 when they cut all the bullshit out and they had Oliver and Prometheus, who was a fantastic villain. Like every second that dude Josh Shigeru was on screen, I was glued to the screen. Or when they had Deathstroke on, I was like, this is good, this is good. And then everything else is like, oh, this is shit, this is shit. Flash was the same deal. It's like
I found disappointing with Flash about Arrow is to the reveal who Vigilante was.
Arrow was trying to went Batman to the point of insanity. I just gave up.
yeah, they tried too much to be like Batman. Now they're gonna be
For
Batwoman.
Vigilante, I again like the actual Adrian Chase because the guy who was Adrian Chase was not the real one because it was just an alias. Instead, they a guy who was killed in a
Some
flashback
dude.
in the previous season. Yeah, it was the guy who was Black Canary's dead boyfriend.
It's just
Apparently
Wow.
has an attack
I
now.
don't care what that. I don't care. Whatever.
Team Arrow needs to go. It just needs to be Oliver and then
And
Roy
Roy
Harper.
Harper.
I mean, I don't watch Arrow because it's trash.
I watched Arrow. I love Arrow a long time, and I don't give a damn.
Seasons 1 and 2
haven't
were
watched
good.
But what are they doing with Black Siren?
Three was.
3 was way so
I don't know what's going on with Black Siren. I haven't watched the series last year.
3
Probably 4.
Or Talia. Would that could be the hobby. What Talia there? Talia Batman. Talia.
Yeah, of the 6 seasons that I watched so far for Arrow, season 3 is the worst.
It is the worst.
Season 3,
4,
terrible.
I thought, but I don't know if anybody noticed for season 3, it was like there was one scene. It was a complete carbon copy of the opening of the previous season with Queen Consolidated put up for sale again. I'm like, seriously?
Not to mention Rachel Gould involved, which why?
I was so excited for season 3, and then like it was like the first episode was a shock value. They kill Sarah Lance, who was way better than Laura Lance on the show, and then they ultimately bring her back for Legends. Which Legends, I will agree. First season was okay. Second and third season were pretty good.
I dropped Legends beginning of season 3. I was like, I can't watch the show anymore.
I love this. I have a good laugh with Legends.
Legends actually got funny. Legends actually made fun stuff.
Yeah, the last episode I watched for Legends was the Groundhog Day episode.
That's awesome.
I feel like Legends hasn't been the same after Captain Cold left. Like, he was like my favorite character.
Yeah, that's what they killed Captain Cold off.
Yeah, they got rid
of the previous season that aired. The one episode I really liked was they had Gorilla Grodd in Vietnam. That was interesting.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Okay, I'm glad I missed out on that episode, but gosh.
Then we go back and fight George Lucas, or have to save George Lucas, which was pretty funny.
Save George Lucas.
Yeah, that was funny.
He stays in school.
Yeah,
that was funny.
Yeah, that's not the only guy they meet who's a real life person. They also meet the writer of Lord of the Rings.
Yep.
Him. Let's think who else they meet. Apparently, they meet a young Barack Obama in the show, which I heard about.
They meet Joey Washington.
Yeah, they meet for like an episode, and then Grodd tries to kill him or something. I don't know. And then like the season 3 finale had them having their stuff, this like talking stuffed animal, like do battle with Mollis.
Yeah, that was funny.
I was laughing my head off on like that. I was like, what am I watching on TV?
That was funny. That was worth it.
But yeah, so like Legends was the only one I enjoyed.
Yeah. What did you guys think of the crossover?
I enjoyed it somewhat, but I hated the ending where fucking Felicity has to shove her face in everything.
I wish someone just assassinated Felicity right there at that moment, just like shut her up.
No, because they're not going to do it because they have to pander to the Tumblr crowd. Oh yeah, we'll have the real Black Canary just get murdered, and then
the way they ended the crossover event was very honest, fine. I don't know that makes sense, but with Arrow and Felicity again, I was anyway. Like,
are they even doing anything with them now that they're married?
Again, I don't know. I don't care. I need a bank shit.
I haven't watched Arrow since the crossover, so
I don't blame you.
What's going with that? But
I
did hear an article long after the season started where creators of Wild Dog, he didn't have fun with the actor. He didn't like it that they changed his costume for season 6.
I don't know. I don't care. To tell you the truth, like I just said before, I don't watch that at all.
Wild Dog, the actor, the artist who created him, he says he loves the actor. He loves what he's doing with the character. He just didn't like the fact they changed the costume to be ripped off.
Speaking of crossover, that don't mind me, we all get another crossover with Batwoman. But here's the thing, though. It's going to be 3 shows. There'll be Flash, Arrow, and Supergirl. That's it.
No Legends or Black Lightning. There's too many superhero shows to keep up with.
No, they're not involved. I'm fine with that. You brought Lightning is awesome. That show because it's in the
Supergirl universe, from what I heard.
What, Black Lightning?
Yeah.
Black Lightning is awesome. That show is amazing.
I need to watch it, but I don't want to get into another one. I suffered through Supergirl. I suffered through all.
Really, really good.
Really
I especially love what they did with Tobias as well. He's actually very true to the comics.
Yeah,
so awesome. Yes, he doesn't look anything like the way he does the comics, but at least he has the right personality, and he's big.
Yeah, he's awesome.
The fact that his oldest daughter is a lesbian, which that is true to the comics as well. though they changed the ethnicity of the character Grace,
I'm
who in the
fine with
comics
that.
is Amazonian, and in the show she's Asian.
Wait,
Okay,
Grace is
fine.
Amazonian?
Wait, what?
You know the character Grace? She's from the Outsiders comics.
Okay, I don't know what else, so that's new to me. Anyways, we're going to good show. I recommend it.
Yes. Talia, Joe Winnick's run.
Interesting. Anywho, back to Batman. The we're getting this year. We're getting Batwoman, and apparently, this Batman crossover is going to connect to Arrow, Supergirl, and Flash. Which, okay,
Yeah,
fine.
and I've heard that they're gonna have the actress who plays Batwoman be an actual lesbian.
So they want an actual lesbian to play Batwoman?
Well, that's the Batman is a lesbian.
Oh my god!
That is true. That is legit.
Yeah, but who cares? Just get a good actress.
Yeah, I agree.
It doesn't matter if they can act. It's all about patting the
Hopefully
children
she's a
on the back.
redhead.
It doesn't matter if any of them can act. It's all about like saying, "Hey guys, look what we accomplished," and pat themselves on the back.
Oh my god, we
it's
found
never
a
about-
lesbian. Such
Yeah.
an accomplishment.
Did you guys hear also that they're changing Supergirl's costume?
Yeah, they gotta make everybody new to Superman and Future Dan. But you don't want to that. Why? I hate Future Dan. Future garbage stuff. Bringing Future Dan costume into Supergirl. It doesn't work.
But here's the thing. Look, I knew
Supergirl.
I knew when they announced the Batwoman show, I was like, oh, I know why they're doing this. They're just doing this for more LGBT representation, which is fine. But it's. I feel like casting an actor
on the show they actually did was Reaction. They did a fantastic job with them, but the one villain, I was so disappointed with them. The freaking Parasite.
Oh yeah, they've been Parasite into the Thing, basically, from John Carpenter's The Thing.
Yeah, I thought that was weird, but the one character I hated this particular villain, Red, a guy who's not a villain and yet the main villain on the TV show, and it looked like it was a cross villain. I'm like, seriously?
The
crossover for Legend of Tomorrow did a lot better job of this piece of crap.
Yeah,
Red Tornado is awful.
Yeah, that pissed me off. What the hell?
I did appreciate what they did with Cyborg Superman. That was fun. I like Cyborg Superman.
Okay, cool.
And I even like it. They even have a freaking CGI Metallo. That was interesting too.
That's pretty cool. Speaking of
when they had John Corbin show up the show, and when I saw him like John Corbin, yep, and he becomes Metallo. That was so predictable.
Yep, it was. She went to the national YouTube in our show. They showed went to her sister on our show.
Character, I was actually pretty happy what they do with him. Mitzi Mitsaplik.
Yeah, that was fun.
Wait, I forgot. Wait, which episode was Mixie in? I forgot.
The one titled Mr. Mixie's Pitalik, I think.
Yeah, I think so.
See, some episodes are so forgettable.
Oh
gosh.
Yep. There's too many.
That one, wow. I was hoping, I was kind of expecting, because he was hoping, like, when I saw him, like, he said he's Mixie Mitsaplik. Okay, so I guess they want to get a shorter actor. Because in the comic, he's a dwarf. So I guess they didn't want to cast a dwarf actor, so they cast somebody who's handsome.
Yeah,
but at least acts like.
Oh, Mixie. Now I remember. Yeah, basically this guy. Yeah, Mixie just basically had a crush on Supergirl. That's basically the point.
Yeah, it was weird.
Yeah, which is true from the comics. He did, in fact, do that. At one point, he even tried to marry her in the comics as well. That was back in the Silver Age.
Oh Lord.
That's so weird.
Yeah, him, the way he acted in the episode, yeah, that's exactly how he acts in the comics as well, which they got that right, but I kind of wish they gave him the classic suit.
Same.
Nah. That would have been weird.
That's never been fun. In my opinion.
No, because I feel like when these shows try to bring like the original costume with the character and try to put it into modern times, it will get a whole lot of backlash. People will start panning the show.
Of course they would.
But at least for the show itself, they actually bring in like all the previous Supergirl actors in the show. They have the original one playing the main character's mother, or the adopted mother. They have the second one from Smallville play Indigo.
Wait, that was
I
weird.
think that's Indigo. They
Yeah,
have
Indigo. Yeah, Nom
yeah,
would be amazing.
yeah, and her father is played by Dean King, which I thought was amazing. I thought he was a great choice to play. I thought who better than the former Superman?
This show basically has a lot of Superman alumni actors.
Oh, speaking of Superman, I completely forgot Krypton at the came out, and Krypton was actually good. I'm
not
not
watching
kidding.
I'm not.
I
watching.
haven't watched it.
Here's the weird thing. It's actually good.
I haven't
show
either.
actually good. I am not kidding.
Is it on Netflix? Can I just watch it there?
No, not sci-fi.
Ah, too many goddamn networks and
No,
too
no.
many goddamn shows. I can't keep up with all these fucking shows. There's too many.
Yeah.
It's so much.
Oh,
How do
guys,
they
the
expect us
some of you
to
guys
keep
should
up?
know. Do you know Martian Manhunter's father on Supergirl?
Yes.
Yeah.
You won't believe who he's famous for playing.
Martian Manhunter and Justice.
and
Yep.
Yep.
That's
That's
what
what
I
he
loved
played.
about it. I was like, the stuff with Martian Manhunter, I was like, I like that stuff on Supergirl. The rest, like, and I was okay with stuff on Rain, but by God, some of it, like this season, I was just like, just get on with it. I don't give a shit about Caramel. I don't care about like Lena Luthor and Jimmy Olsen's relationships.
I got tired of Rain. Rain was probably like the worst scene.
Rain was so disappointing. The guy was so.
Well, she
Rain
was
is
better
from
than the last two
52
villains.
Supergirl run.
She's my new 52. What the?
That's probably another reason why I don't like it, because she's a new 52 villain. I just
Yeah, but here's something you guys might not know. The guy who plays Martian Manhunter's father is not the only person from the Justice League animated shows to appear in these shows. They had Clancy
Clancy
Brown appear
Yep.
on Flash. He played
Yep.
Lex. Michael Ironside playing Captain Cold's father.
Yep.
No. Oh yeah, Michael Ironside. I was thinking Michael Rosenbaum for a second. Like Michael Ironside needs to be the live action Darkseid. Just do
didn't
motion
Michael
capture.
Ironside pass away?
No,
wait,
he's still alive.
No, he's still alive.
We're still alive.
I'm thinking about Powers Booth. He's the one that voiced Grodd in the Justice League show. May he rest in peace.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. Damn it.
I know that they had Agents of Shield.
Yeah. They also had the Guardian at the end in the show. When Jimmy Olsen the Guardian. Which
No, he on Agents of Shield he played the Patriot.
no. I know that. I know that. But I'm talking about the Guardian from DC. You know, who Jimmy Olsen the Guardian. Which that could do that. Why we haven't Jimmy Olsen the
I
Guardian?
have no idea about season 2 is why did they make Jimmy Olsen the Guardian for?
I don't know.
He's never the Guardian in the comics.
Yeah, I don't get it.
So I do have
know.
a theory of why.
Everyone has to be a
Because
vigilante.
yeah. My theory is because they dropped the ball on James Harper.
Yeah, basically, yeah.
Why is James Harper? What happened to him?
They made him a villain.
What? Why?
No idea why. did.
Damn it, L. You stop being here with the villains.
Yeah, they did the same thing with Atom Smasher for some reason. That was stupid.
Oh yeah, they made Atom Smash like the first villain in season 2 of Flash.
I did that
Yeah.
too. But
Yeah, and I love who played him. They had former WWE superstar Edge play him. That was awesome.
Yeah,
He's not the
yeah.
only wrestler who's put on.
I see clearly.
yeah, that was fun.
I know he's not the only person who's appeared on the Arrow shows. They've also had Cody Rhodes appear on
So it's
Arrow.
Stardust, which cracked me up because they had that whole time with SummerSlam, which was funny.
Yeah, that was funny.
And then
Yeah.
they had
They've
Bill
also
Goldberg.
had, they had him on Flash as Big Sur.
Who? Never heard of him. Wait,
Some
Yeah,
dude
he's
in
a Flash
prison.
villain.
no.
Yeah, apparently he was a old friend of Henry Allen's in the show, but Big Sur is from the Flash comics. Take look him up, Tivia. He is from the Flash comics. I'm a little surprised to see him on this show. I mean, no one expecting to play him. It's like, oh, here's Goldberg. But it's not the first time he played
that
a
was
prisoner.
fun. I actually liked that episode. It was pretty good.
Last time I saw Vixen was The Longest Yard.
Yep. Speaking of acting on the fire in the finger, at the end of season 4, okay, you're going to do another time. There was a story about Barry's daughter, but actually a different daughter. It's not the Scenario twins. It's a different character from Flying Justice League. I forget the character's name, to tell you the truth. Any particular season 5?
Mhm.
No.
Season 5 of Flash?
Yeah.
I don't give a shit anymore.
Well,
I wish I could. I miss the
All
days where I
Flash.
used to look forward to Flash
Yeah,
and
the
Arrow.
only thing
and
I
all
heard
that.
about season 5 Flash is that Barry's getting his Flash ring.
We're getting Oz from American Pie as the villain. That's
who
all
is
I
the
know.
villain for season 5?
I don't know. It's the guy who played.
His
what was
name
his
is
name?
Takata. His name is Takata. He's a villain in Jeff John's Flash run, basically.
yeah, he's actually a very powerful villain.
Okay.
I hope they do him right.
I don't know. Well, they did Blacksmith, right?
Yep.
Yeah, Cicada. Chris Klein is playing him. So, like, I mean, I remember when Chris Klein was kind of a big deal in the early 2000s, and then he just faded away. But I mean,
Cicada should be
What was the Flash villain
it's not
that
speed.
appeared on Flash?
what was it?
I would say they got a good chunk of them working Arrow would keep dropping the ball on them like
No, they keep
they
doing
would count
bad.
freaking Vertigo.
Arrow
Yeah,
had
they
3 really good villains. Damien Dark, who was one of them. Deathstroke for sure, and then Prometheus.
Oh,
I
and
mean,
you can't forget
sick of
Malcolm
Damien
Merlin.
Dark.
Malcolm Merlin, I've always been like on the fence. Like he's like I like John Barrowman as an actor, but like I've never found him to be like a great villain. He's just like just a kind of like a a decent character to watch throughout the Arrowverse.
Yeah, but the one villain on Arrow that I just did not care for, I thought he was terrible. I'm kind of glad they killed him off. The first Count Vertigo.
They keep making Count Vertigo up. They keep not bringing the real Count Vertigo. They keep bringing other Count Vertigo. It's confusing.
Yeah, they
can't
made
keep
Count
up with
Vertigo a
anymore.
freaking drug dealer, which I thought was stupid. I didn't like it so much. I created my own theory that the guy who's financing him is the real Count Vertigo, and he's also the one who's the drug is named after.
It's stupid. It makes no sense. It's been a scarecrow.
Yeah, they can't use Batman villains because Gotham is using. Oh, that's another comic book. God damn, I can't keep up with them all.
No. Ignore Gotham. Gotham sucked and not like a train wreck. It's awful.
I'll enjoy Gotham when it's over the top, kooky, crazy. Like when Jerome's on screen. Like
Yeah, and Gotham's going off the air this year. This
Thank
upcoming
God.
season is his last one.
It's
Thank
actually
God.
improved with each season, but like you can't. I have to learn to accept it's not a true Batman thing.
I can't.
Yeah,
I can't either. It's garbage. I
yeah.
ignore
And
it.
something that's quite weird. They're replacing Gotham with an Alfred Pennyworth show.
It's,
What? Are they high? What kind of more? Wait, Biscuit, what's your opinion? Biscuit?
who?
Biscuit. Biscuit Ryan?
Maybe he fell asleep. It is kind of late now. I gotta get up for work.
Wait.
Yeah, I got work.
So, should we end it?
Might as
Yeah,
well.
just like
Yeah, go ahead.
any final thoughts? Because like I said, I gotta get up. I got work. at
Hello,
7
can you
a.m.
hear me?
Yeah, Biscuit, we can hear you.
Go ahead.
Oh, I don't know what happened, but what was the question?
What's your opinion on Gotham? Because we...
Whoever said that it progressively got better, I agree with that hugely. And
That's
again, whenever Jerome comes in, he's like the best thing in that episode.
Jerome
or
is
any
the
episode.
best thing in Gotham, but I dropped the show like middle of season 3 because Mad Hatter was not doing it for me.
Also, they call out, but they may call out, not the call out. It looks stupid.
Yeah, me too.
Mad Hatter looked like Prince, like the music artist.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I didn't get it. I didn't watch Gotham. I stopped watching Gotham as season 2. I did a bad ship. I didn't continue anymore.
You
To
said
me,
they were
I
going to
think-
replace it with
I
Alfred?
think season 2 was
Yeah.
I haven't watched Gotham since season 2.
Yeah, apparently they're gonna do an Alfred show. What's your opinion?
Alfred. Really?
I guess Teen Titans Go the movie was just right with Alfred the movie.
Yeah.
Yep, at least gotta love the guy who plays him on the show.
Not-
Not Berkeley.
Yeah,
Honestly,
he's pretty cool. I mean, he sounds like he smoked like 1,000 cigarettes before filming, but I mean, still pretty good.
Yeah, it could be
Yeah, but
worse.
here's the thing. Did you know he's the son of a legendary actor?
No.
Yeah, his father is the third Doctor.
Nice.
Doctor Who.
Really?
Yep,
Wow.
his father is John Pertwee.
I never watched Doctor Who.
I
No.
used to when it was
It's a
good.
good show. I highly recommend it.
Nah, I can't get
Yeah,
into
it's
it.
well.
I'm
it's
too
actually
far
gonna have a
late.
woman.
Anywho, what to talk about? I think we went over everything.
Yeah, we could just end it here.
Yeah, so
I guess channel shout outs or whatever. Like,
yeah, all right, Final Thoughts. Final Thoughts, the DC comic as a whole. Okay, comics on the whole, I am hoping that they pick themselves because I've been loving Leroy since the start and since now Bendis took over Superman. Well,
It's
I got the deal. Get it then, fix at the team and please, for the love of God, and I'm pointing for you, don't let Bennett destroy Superman. I like Superman when doing good, but now it's just been over with Connery. It's fucking this point with Bendis. So they're doing fine. The Titans, Teen Titans, that's debatable. Harley Quinn, don't care about. Wonder Woman, that's still doing good. Aquaman's still doing good. Batman, I don't know. Batman.
number 50 was a big fuck up.
Yeah, it should be a big fuck up. Flash is doing excellent. I love Flash, awesome. Teen Titans, the lines are fine, but it could be better. Hero in Crisis. Okay, Hero in Crisis only has one job only. Don't kill off Warlord Flash.
Or don't kill off Tim Drake.
Hideo wants to. He really wants to. I can just see it right there. He's like, yes, I'm going to kill off Wally West. And then I'm going to try and find a way to kill off Dick Grayson. And then all the legacy characters.
Yeah, good reasons. But overall, comics, it's 50-50 at this point. Movies, I'm over two movies, Aquaman and Captain Marvel. Now comes to them, got the name. TV shows.
Goes to season 3.
Season 3. Titans. I'll give you part of the show. I don't know that one show, but whatever. Doom Patrol. I'll probably check that one out. Swamp Thing. Harley Quinn, don't care.
There's that weird Metropolis prequel.
Oh yeah, I could forgot like that. Think about me.
At least Gotham, I don't see the point of Metropolis prequel.
There is no point. It shouldn't even exist. We don't need it.
I said the same thing with Krypton, and look where I am now, so I'll give it a chance.
Krypton was actually pretty good. It surprised the hell out of me. But I'm not kidding. They have to make Brainiac actually awesome.
He looked cool.
Yeah, he did.
He sounds amazing, too.
Mm-hmm. And here's the kicker. They made Brainiac an actually great villain on that show. Then, in live action, then the DCEU ever got the Brainiac.
We're never gonna get Brainiac. I've just given up at this point. We're never gonna get him.
How weird is that TV show on Krypton and they made Brainiac great? Yeah, in the movie they can't get the Brainiac dark side.
We're never gonna get it. We just aren't.
Yeah, we're never gonna get at this point. So you know what? Yeah, whatever. I'll take Brainiac on Krypton than anywhere else. Everything's good in Krypton. That's a shock to me. Weird. As for video games, I only have two suggestions for you, DC. Super Sons, or give me Superman. Or give me Wonder Woman, or give me something else. Stop doing Batman, to do that. Oh, do Metal. Problem solved. Anime movies, DC Metal.
And Super Sons.
And Super Sons. And, well, I can get one anime, so I can do that one. And do Flash. And that's it. Oh, I'll do no see that anime movie. And I think that's about it. Okay, guys, any final thoughts?
I guess I'll go first. Yeah, state of the comic books. There's a lot of things I'm concerned about. I don't want this to go in the Hideo direction, which I'm fearful it is. If you really want to stick it to Brian Michael Bendis and like the current run of Superman, go out and check out Super Sons. The Adventures of Super Sons comes out tomorrow. Really put the sales up for that thing to show that you want more storylines with like Tomasi and that, as opposed to what Bendis is doing. Don't really go out and purchase the Super Sons. And if you're enjoying it, I guess so. Go ahead and. But like, if you really want to stick it to them, show them that you really want something more along the lines of Super Sons, and that it was really dumb to get rid of Tomasi off, Superman. So that's one thing. Just have some consistency in the writing of certain characters. Don't regress characters. Like, make sure like the important core values of the characters are represented. Don't go towards this more New 52 thing. I guess get Tom King off of Batman if he like keeps writing like misleading people like they did with The Wedding. Yeah, and then TV shows. I wouldn't mind some of these shows just ending, so I don't have so many to try and keep up with. And hopefully just make good ones on the DC Universe Network, because I'm looking forward to all those. Movies, I'm hopeful for the future. If I could get one live action movie, I just want more than anything a Bat Family movie. I want the whole Bat Family on screen. Like, I mean, how is it that I've gotten 2 Ant-Man movies before I saw the Bat Family united on screen?
I have no idea.
I got a Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 1 and 2 before I saw Jason Todd in live action. Think about that. It's just not fair. It's not fair. Why don't I get these movies? It's just, God damn it. I really wish I could have them. But yeah, that's that. That's pretty much all to say. If you want to check out my channel, youtube.com/JTisReborn. I've left comments. So thanks for having me on. So
all right, Biscuit.
I got really nothing else to say. You guys pretty much took all the words out of my mouth.
Yeah. Okay, Blackwing.
Yeah, basically you guys just said the same things. I have no comment to say anymore. I basically stated my pieces, but yeah, follow me on YouTube at Blackwing2040. And yeah, so thanks for having me here, Tevia.
All right, Nick. Nick. No.
you said you're Blackwing 2040?
Yeah, Blackwing 2040. No spaces in between. Everything's
I have nothing extra to say about it. It's just that
I just hit the sub.
well, I'm enjoying DC Comics right now. I'm here.
All right.
Yeah, you can just check out my YouTube. There's got my YouTube. Yeah, be sure to check out my YouTube channel and follow me on Google Plus and Twitter.
All right. After me, you can follow me YouTube at Spoken. You can follow me on Twitter, or you can follow my Google Plus. You can follow me on Stardust and Twitch and YouTube. It's great over here. So enjoy, stay tuned. And that discussion on maybe see the Marvel comics, because that could be a discussion. Actually, that's not a bad idea.
All we can really talk about is the comic portion.
Yeah, pretty much, because the comics have been all over the place.
Yeah, so
I haven't been reading them, so I have no idea.
yeah, so maybe we can say that for another discussion, maybe for, I think, maybe, not tomorrow, obviously tomorrow's way too late, so.
Sometime next week? Sometime
next week. We need to figure out a date and time in order to figure this out, because I'm not really good with dates.
Cool.
Okay.
Cool, this was fun.
Yep. And enjoy this thing.
Email.
Let's go to the next hour. See ya. Bye.
Bye-bye.